Hello, Rado, MMK. Hello. How are you? Ronald, you're welcome to come up if you'd like to join us in the panel there. MMK, how are you? How's Ken? We're doing good. Been a very busy week. Very busy. But other than that, we're doing all right. Uh, ah, Here as in the Philippines here, or here as in spirit here, or on the phone? There you are, Ken. How are you, Ken? Yeah, we've been doing good this week. We've been doing a lot of paperwork, trying to get ready for the Philippines. And as you've seen from our Vegas thing, we have a lot of videos on the Vegas thing. Hello, Uniquely Extra. Good to see you. Yeah, well, we're stuck in Arkansas, Ken, so we can relate. But I've dropped a link there to StreamYard. If anybody would like to come up, you're more than welcome to and join me. We're still stuck here. We've been taking measures to Ken to go after the 9A visa. That's something we've been working on. We had to submit a notice of marriage, which we didn't know we had to do. So we found out the other day we weren't married. So in the eyes of the Philippines government. But other than that, man, it's been a busy paperwork week. Uniquely Extra, how are you doing? How are things in your world? And Ken, what's happening up in Ohio? Anything exciting? Maureen, you have any new videos coming out anytime soon? No. Ken, I'll drop it again. Because you got to know I'm not the smartest cookie in the book. Cookie in the pack, maybe. Maybe not the book. What is that? The sharpest page in the book? We're going to do our premiere at 8 o'clock. Another little video that I did on one of the issues we're looking at in regards to moving to the Philippines. So worked on that this week. So hopefully that'll be a very informative video for you guys. Hello, Michael McFarland. How are you? Good to see you. Everybody say hi to Michael. Michael, say hello to everybody. There is a StreamYard link there if anybody wants to join in the panel. But yeah, we're going to, so Lorelai's in the process of working on a video about how to submit your paperwork to show the Philippine government that you're legally married. One thing she's working on. And then, man, it's just crazy trying to figure out which visa is the best to try to get to go to. All right, let me add. Hey, Ken, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, buddy. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Let me add Mr. Simon here.
See?
Hello, Simon. Hi to our good friend Ken.
I beat all them Americans here, and I'm still alive.
Are you still awake?
I'm still alive. I beat all them Americans.
You did. Simon's from the UK, Ken.
Good to see you, Simon.
We won't hold that against him, but you know, he can be a little bit of whoop. I think I lost you guys there. So Ken, how are you?
Doing okay, except dealing with an issue. Something's going on over in the Phils with the girls collecting their money from like MoneyGram. I don't know what's going on with it, but something, because I've sent Maureen numerous times, and we tried yesterday, and they told her at 3 different places that you have to be a relative or married. Well, I never heard that before. But 3 different places told her the same thing, and I was on the phone to hear it. So it's kind
Wow.
of far going on. I don't know what we're going to do now, because my only other option is to find another, source to send, like Western Union. But it sounds to me like they have a new policy or something. So even if I send with Western Union, I got a feeling they're going to say the same thing. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Boy, let's ask everybody. Judy's in the house. Everybody say
Very
hi to
bizarre. First time ever. I've used MoneyGram for over 10 or 12 years.
Well, Ken, I would really shift gears and try any of the other services, because we had a similar problem a couple of years ago. Where we rotate companies.
What did you go to?
Well, we were using Western Union. That got messed up. So we've done MoneyGrams, we've done Zoom, PayPal, all of those, very traditional ones.
Yeah.
So everybody say hi to Going Green's mom. Judy Fisher's in the house.
How you doing, Ron? Hey, Ron. Good to see you.
Good to
Ronald's
see you.
in the house. So, hey, Tropical Tim. Ken is having problems sending money to the Philippines. Have you heard anything?
I
new
told him.
about
I told Tim about it earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's bizarre. But they told her at 3 different places the same exact thing. That now it's
Brother Tim,
can't be a boyfriend. It's got to be a husband or a relative, or they're not going to give her money. I'm like, I never heard of such a thing. I've done it for years.
I haven't either. I would switch companies and try it with somebody else.
I'm going to have to try
is
something.
this for remittance?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, they would not. She's collected it every time for almost 4 years. And before that, I had a wife from the Philippines, ex-wife now, and I sent over there for at least 6 years, probably, before that.
Ronald can relate.
So it's been about 10 years. I used MoneyGram. Nobody else. Never had a problem. Not one time until yesterday.
What? Well, they close tomorrow, so. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
I'm sure.
they're closed today because it's the second.
Yeah.
Right.
But they'll be open on the 3rd.
Yeah, the one place said they'll be back open on Saturday. They were closed when she went there yesterday. The other 3 places were open, but they told her the same thing. I was like, "What?" I'm on the other side. I'm on the phone with her, and I could hear him say it. I was like,
Let me call my girl Jonah up and let her know this might be going down.
"I've never heard of such a thing," but it did happen. She went to 3 different places. They said no.
It has to be a husband or a relative.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do some internet searching, but I've ran into the problem where if you do it too much with one company, they start to think you're laundering money, So that's why we kind of rotate and see. But Western Union should be open all the time.
Yeah, I think my next move is going to be Western Union. But I wonder too if
That's our call. According to my friends, and they're saying they're having problems sending money.
MoneyGram will give me my funds back, so I can just
Yeah, Western
roll it over.
Union would do. Yeah.
It should. She was never able to collect money.
So Tim is talking about it gets harder and harder to send the money there, guys. If you can read his text. Right. And I think Tim is onto this. One thing we've done is PayPal, which you can go to people's bank accounts.
Right.
It seems to be a lot easier and better.
that might be my next option too, just to open up a bank account. Excuse me, for her
Yeah.
there, and then
Yeah.
and then because I have PayPal, I can just send PayPal to the bank account, and she can collect it there.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
very strange. I mean, I've never ever had this problem, not one time.
And don't go through the GCash either, because GCash is Western Union. You won't get through.
So yeah, I don't know. Gonna have to
There's some new shit.
Yeah, never had this happen
Ever.
ever. I don't know. It's strange.
They trying to cripple the people because the only money they coming in is remittance and OFWs.
Yeah, you would think they would want as much money pouring in there as possible. They would just give her damn money.
That's how it go. Check with your cousin and find out if MoneyGram and Western Union is stopping payments, because I'm not a true Asawa.
Yeah, that's what they told her. And they told her at 3 different places the same thing. You have to be a relative, or it has to be a husband.
3 different MoneyGram locations.
Huh?
3 different MoneyGram locations?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
And they said the same thing. So it must be some sort of new policy. And I'm going to have to assume, since MoneyGram is basically the same thing as Western Union, is they're going to say the same thing. If I flip to Western Union and send, as soon as she walks in there, I think they're going to tell her the same thing. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Very weird.
Yeah.
All this-
I don't know
all this
why
time.
or how they could do that legally, you know.
Huh?
That I don't know why or how they would do that legally. I mean, if you're not talking about thousands and thousands of dollars,
No.
you know
We're
what I
talking
mean?
like 100. We're
Right.
talking 5,000 pesos. I send her that every month for almost 4 years.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, they're definitely worried about the money laundering, as Tim talks about. But that what we literally had to do, Ken, was we just started rotating companies, and then we finally got things set up to where on the other end, a bank account was set up so that we could just PayPal.
Yeah, that may be the avenue I got to go.
But I would try one of the other groups, one of the other agencies, and just see until you can get it figured out permanently.
Yeah. I don't know. Very strange. Had me all pissed off, though. I was like livid. I was like, are you kidding me? Give her damn money. It's like, what the hell? I mean, you would think they would not be making it harder for the girls to get their money. The country needs the money. They should make it
Right.
easy. So I don't get it. She never had an issue. Never. Not one time. Walked in there yesterday. First place, issue. Second place, issue. Third place, same thing. I was like, what the hell? Must be some new policy or something. I don't know. I can't find anything on it either, because I've looked it up and tried to Google stuff and see if anybody's talking about it, and I don't see anything.
Yeah, I think the best bet is to switch gears to a different company and try it.
Yeah,
You know.
I probably have to.
Because that doesn't make a lot of sense anyway.
Yeah, I
Let's
don't-
say hey to the Kennedy Supergirls and Juanita's in the house. Thank you guys for coming. Ken's having a problem trying to get money to the Philippines. Has anybody heard about any new rules or regulations about money transferring to the Philippines?
I mean, I understand the whole concern with the money laundering, but you know, like I'm thinking, for one thing, she has a copy of my ID, my driver's license. They have a record in the MoneyGram system that I've sent to her like 40 or 50 times. So I don't, and it's not a huge amount of money, so it's not like I'm laundering money. You know, I don't get it. I don't know.
No, but that's when we had problems with Western Union. We had great use of Western Union for about 5 years, steady, and then boom. So we got rid of Western Union when we almost lost $700,
Yeah.
but So yeah, Tim was talking about trying to Remitly and Zoom. I think you just got to kind of rotate and see.
I'll give it a shot.
You
Give it a
know,
try. I just have this overwhelming feeling that even if I go back, flip the MoneyGram to Western Union, they're going to tell her the same thing, because it's the same thing. She's there to receive money from a non-relative, non-husband. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
but man, we just never heard that.
I never did either. I never did either.
I think the key is where she's getting her money at. The location, maybe if you switch a company, make sure she doesn't go. So let's say if one location has MoneyGram and Western Union and Zoom people all in the same place, or they're all the same agency, maybe go to a place that's a different agency and then have a new one to apply for or to withdraw. So the same worker isn't telling her, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. It was strange though.
Judy
I was
said,
on the phone with her. I was on the phone with her the whole time. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Did you get on the phone with MoneyGram?
No. The reason I'm waiting is one of the places doesn't open back up till Saturday, and she had received there numerous times. It's like her go-to place. They happen to be closed. So I said, just hold off till Saturday, go check that place. And if you get shot down again, then I'm going to have to get a hold of MoneyGram and I don't know, roll it back on, or I don't know. I don't know if they'll give me my money back or not. I've never had it happen.
They will. They'll refund it all. They have to. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing with Western Union, Zoom, all of them will have to do the same. They bring the money back. So.
They
Yeah.
definitely can't keep it.
Right.
Yeah, she
So
never
Ronald,
picked it up. Yeah,
what
I
do
don't
you use? Have you been sending anything lately to the Philippines? Ronald?
No. Well, I was going to send Jonah money. Well, if it wasn't for the holiday, I would have sent it today. So if I would have sent the money today, since they closed on Saturday, well, today for them,
Okay.
I had to wait till the 3rd. So that's what I was going to do. I was going to send it on the 3rd. She hadn't heard anything about this either. But
hey,
she don't have a clue either. I'm trying to tell her to check it out, but you know how Filipinos get when it comes to the communication to get twisted. I'm telling her to do this, and she's still asking questions about how come.
Yeah. Again, we've actually done what Tropical Tim is suggesting. In the past, we've actually been able to wire money to somebody who's then able to enter a country transfer it.
Yeah.
So we were able to do that when we had an emergency situation and things got messed up.
Well, Tim, if I run into an issue, I might take you up on that until I can get her a bank account.
Yeah.
So what I would do is PayPal you the money, and then you could send it, because I know that you've sent her before for the prizes.
Yeah.
She was able to get it. She got it. Of course, she was able to get mine every time up until yesterday. So I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. It's strange. Very
You
strange.
just never know. You just never know how things go. But yeah, this is the first we're really having it. So
No, TT, she doesn't have PayPal. She doesn't have a bank account. I have PayPal, so I can send it.
I think you're going to have to just break down and do a bank account.
Well, yeah, I think in the end that's what I'm gonna have to do anyway.
Yeah.
But until then, I just want to get her some funds. You know, they need it.
Yeah. It's frustrating, you know.
It is frustrating, especially when every other time it was so smooth. It was no problem. She showed her ID, they handed her the money. All of a sudden,
you know, and it's our money, you know. I don't know why they want to put regulations on our money. I get it, you know, when you travel and they say, look, you got to declare anything over $10,000. I get that, but when you're only sitting, you know,
Oh yeah.
the Bowling Green's
I usually
mom-
just stuff about $5,000 in each shoe when I travel.
yeah. Going Green's mom is wondering why a bank account in the Philippines is such a big issue.
Yeah, Going Green, Mom,
Yeah.
they told her she has to prove that we're married.
Yeah. They can, Going Green, they can open up a bank account in the Philippines. They just need about 200 USD to do that usually. Depending on the bank, whether the Bank of the Philippines or which one has different rules. It's not that big of a deal. They just normally don't do that. A lot of Filipinos don't seem to have a lot of bank accounts.
Right. I would do that though. If it took 200, I'd send her that and have her open an account.
Well, and I think Judy's right. And you kind of got to maintain a balance.
That's okay, Judy. As
Yeah.
long as she gets it, I'll maintain the balance. This is a huge hassle.
Oh, yeah.
I want to
Now-
give her funds so that she can get stuff that she needs.
Now my girlfriend Jonah is listening, and she says, "Well, she don't know what's going on."
Hold on, wait. Ang ginawa nito ngayon, saan ako ng pera papadala si Koyet? Iba na ngayon ang policy ng ng mga remittance.
Yes,
Hindi na pwedeng kumuha ang girlfriend lang.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kaya
The
nga,
good news is Ken has you taken care of short term. Tim has you taken care of, Ken, short term. You know, worst comes to worst.
Yeah. I didn't think of that, Tim. I appreciate it. We'll see if Saturday. If they don't give her that money tomorrow or day after tomorrow, then I'm going to go back to MoneyGram. I'll just have them give me my money back. And then I'll just turn right around and I'll send it PayPal. And then you can
Yeah.
send it down to her because I know you've sent her before the prize money. So
Yeah.
you got it. So I don't know. What a situation. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell? All three places, the same thing. So there must be some kind of new policy or something they put out there because it was the same thing at all three places.
Right.
I got a feeling Saturday the fourth one's going to be the same thing. I can't
I'm gonna
imagine.
call MoneyGram.
Yeah, but I've used MoneyGram for over 10 years. No problem ever.
Wow.
Me too.
I'm like, what the hell? This is a hassle.
We got a couple of GMD channel. Good to see you. What is that? Geodedsa Cebu channel. Good to see you. Thank you guys for coming in and joining us. We're going to do a premiere at 8 o'clock of a video I did talking about whether we're going to sell or rent our house in America. So, been trying to work on a lot of business side of things, Ken, trying to get, so that when when we can finally get there, we know which way to go. So,
Yeah.
because we found out, maybe you saw the video, but Lorelai and I in the Eye of the Philippines is not married. So we never submitted our notice of marriage.
Aha. I never got married in the Philippines. I got married here and I never sent the papers either.
Yeah, we didn't either. But now that we may have to go back on a 9A visa, you got to have the paperwork submitted. So, yeah.
That might be another level of aggravation.
Well, the good news is Lorelai's really good at paperwork, so she's handling it all.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I'll let her be the frustrated one. So, but
What a hassle.
chicken plucker, plucker. Have been hard to find here in the U.S. in the last year. All right.
Uh,
Hopefully somebody will know something though.
Yeah, I don't know. Of course, it just happened to me yesterday, and so the whatever this policy is, it changed because I think I sent 3 weeks ago, and she picked it up with no problem. So, and before that, I've sent 30 or 40 times, and she got it no problem. It's like, what the hell? Freaking
Well,
ass.
somehow when we were using Western Union last year, our account got hacked, and I had a fight to get our money back, but I finally did through my bank. But Western Union basically told me, not our problem, but it was them who got hacked.
Right.
We almost lost $700, but the bank gave it back to me.
Yeah. Well, that was good.
Yeah. So, but
Well, if I end up losing 100, I lose 100. I'm not going to die over that, but
you won't.
it's a
You
habit.
won't lose it. It'll come back. It'll come back.
We're going to find out. Because yeah, if she can't get it at that fourth place, that's it. Because she lives in the middle
David.
of Claridel, and there's only 4 places in the entire town.
I'm going to bounce out the room for a minute, go back over to Simon's and tell Simon and tell the rest of them what's going on.
All
Okay.
right.
Thanks,
All right.
Yeah, there's something definitely going on with this,
This is some bullshit. I
There's
mean,
something
sorry for
going
the
on.
language, David, but
and I can tell
they
you,
need the money because there ain't nothing moving.
right,
Right.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want her to get the funds like normal, without a
Yeah.
hassle.
Yeah. But Ronald's going to go over and talk to another group of guys that are in similar situations and see. So she says, I use TransferWise, Metroband account. Yeah, okay.
Well, I appreciate that, Tim. You're a good guy. But I tell you what, if you help me out, I'll help you out. I'll help out your feeding. Your feeding.
Another suggestion is Gcash.
My main concern is I just got to get her some funds. I mean, they're struggling over there bad with this COVID. Her dad can't hardly bring in no money because he drives a trike, and there's nobody. It's rough. I mean, they got it rough over there.
Yeah, when the economy is suffering, I mean, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it's not like I was sending a ton of money. You know, it's 5,000 pesos. So it wasn't like it appears like I'm trying to roll over $5,000.
Yeah, but to me, it doesn't even really matter. It's I believe that it's your money. You do what you want with it.
True, but one thing I do realize, especially in that little town where she's at, is these places they don't have a lot of cash on hand. So you got to be careful with the amount that you send because they may not have it.
Yeah, we ran into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
We sent somebody on a trek for money, and then we've actually pulled it back and redid it in smaller amounts.
Right.
So,
Well, there was one time, even with the MoneyGram, not too long ago, maybe I don't know, 2-3 months ago, that they didn't have the funds, and she had to go back later in the day, and then they gave her funds.
right.
So yeah.
Yeah, we've ran into, we did a thing a few years ago where it was a large purchase, and through a car dealership for somebody there, for a family member. And what I did was I paid for it over the phone with my Discover card,
Yeah.
and that worked. But this was a purchase, not cash. So
Right.
that was a little different, but it worked.
Right. Wow.
But
I don't
Tim's offering to float her some money.
That sure is
That
a hassle, I'll tell you.
Yeah, Judy's been doing it too. With PayPal, I've never had a problem. It really does seem like PayPal may be the bread and butter or the rock, so to speak, to go through to make it all happen. We just started using PayPal in the last year, and Lorelai seems to like it a lot. So,
Yeah, I use PayPal all the time. I've never had a problem with that either.
yeah. We're getting them. So Jim doesn't think the quarantine's a factor. It's just all done in cyberspace. I wonder if the rise of the Bitcoin has anything to do with it. Maybe they're wanting you to do more. You know how companies are. Maybe they've all got together and said, look, we need to work on this Bitcoin thing and drive up business in the Bitcoin world and try to make that more of a mainstay. So therefore, we're going to, do it that way.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. I don't think this has anything to do with the pandemic at all. I mean, if anything, because of the pandemic and everybody's going broke over there, they would want as much money pouring in there as possible. Doesn't matter who's sending it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It looks like it's a new policy. Some moron decided that you have to prove you're married or a relative to send money. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. But
Yeah.
it's a hassle.
So how much does, I guess I'm ignorant, how much does PayPal take in fees? Is it a set flat rate or?
I send $100 US for $8.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they charge me $8 to send 100. Which
How much do you think PayPal would charge you for that?
let me think. It's probably a little less than that. It's probably less than that. So like if I sent Mugs because I had her go on a mission to search down honey and send Marine 2 bottles of honey. And I sent her $60 US and I think it came out to like $66 or something like that.
Right.
It was $65, something like that total. So 100 would be like the same, $8 or $9 or something, right around the same.
Okay. Well, I got a friend whose son is stationed in Japan. They send him money through a thing called Cash App, and he says that there's no fees, and it's bank account to bank account. I've never used it, but it's called Cash App, bank account to bank account, because he sends it, his son money all the time.
Huh. Yeah, I know there's other ones out there. There's that Zoom. There's that Remitly. There's ones out there, but I don't know. I just have a feeling this is a new policy, and it doesn't matter who the carrier is.
Yeah.
You say you've got to be a relative because that's what they told her. I heard it on the phone 3 times. So I don't think it's which company, like Western Union, MoneyGram, or Remitly or whatever. I think it's just a policy now. It doesn't matter who the carrier is. I'm just guessing from my experience last night. But
yeah. So GGM says a lot of spammers use Cash App. Oh, didn't know that. Okay. So Geo says, I just checked TransferWise, send from your bank in the U.S. to Gcash e-wallet. If you send from your certified card within minutes. Judy's wanting to know how Tim would actually get it to her in the Philippines. Judy, it's kind of like there's Cebuano, if I pronounce it right, Cebuano is a way of like Western Union, but it's America to America. It's
already did some homework.
Yeah.
I've been working on this all day.
If it's within the country, the Philippines, it's really easy to send money to each other.
Yes, that's it. That's it, Judy. It's only coming from outside the country where they're putting a roadblock up.
Yeah.
Island to island, there's no hassle.
Right.
So from the looks of it.
No, because we've had to do this. What Tim is talking about is something we've had to do in the past. So,
yeah.
But since we've been using PayPal, we haven't had any issues.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with PayPal either. but she's not set up with a bank where she can go retrieve the money from her bank.
Right.
I think eventually I just got to set her up with a bank anyway. It'd be much easier if I just transfer from my bank to her bank. It'd be simple. I wouldn't have to deal with any of the rest of it.
No, I agree. I actually did a bunch of research and was trying to find a U.S. bank that would allow me to give a card to somebody in the Philippines a few years ago, so they like a safe spending account. But like Discover and the other ones didn't really like to do that. So
yeah, Tim is right. He has sent Marine many times for winnings. Never had a problem. Never had a problem getting it. Of course, I never had this problem before either. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
It's an asshole.
Well, we'll do a bunch of research on it and see what everybody comes up with and says. And hopefully it's
I don't
a
know.
new law. Or
I'm just hoping Saturday when she goes into that last place, they just give her money, but I doubt it, because the three places were like, it was like an echo. It was like the same thing. It's almost like they got a new policy and they were aware of it. And I don't know. Bizarre. Very bizarre. But Tim, I'll let you know. I may take you up on that, and I'll just PayPal you the money right away. And you can send it. But I'm gonna wait till Saturday because she may be able to get it. So I don't know, because it's still floating around out there in outer space. Yeah.
What GGM is talking about, I was talking about a secure credit card. The problem I ran into was they wouldn't ship one to the Philippines for me. You had to be land-based or in the country of origin. So you can definitely do like those secure credit cards or prepaid credit cards. If you're over in the Philippines, you can load them and things like that. But we tried to send one to somebody one time and it didn't work.
See, I do the same thing every time. When I get back from MoneyGram, I send her the whole receipt. So it's got my name on it, it's got her name on it, it's got the code, it's got the dollar amount on the bottom, and she shows them that on her phone, and 5 minutes later she gets her money. Until yesterday.
That's what we normally do.
It's like, man, what the hell?
But Tim's pointing out that some of the banks over there say that you got to show employment to open an account.
Yeah. Well, Tim, if I gotta do that and maintain 200, that's no big deal. But then what I would do is just I would just wire from my bank to that bank, and do away with any of this other remittance places. I'd rather just deal with bank to bank.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. I totally agree.
Plus, it's so much simpler too if you got to contact someone on the phone because there's an issue or something. All I got to do is pick up my phone and I can get somebody from my bank and say, "Hey, I'm having an issue," whatever. It's simple. So I don't know. That's probably going to be what I end up doing. I'm retiring over there anyway, so what the hell? It doesn't matter. I'll be living over there permanently here in another year or two.
Yeah, we hope to be there by August.
Yeah, I want to get back over bad. Oh my God, I'm chomping at the bit, man. I'm telling you, this has felt like the longest because I had all my plans to go last April. I had flights and everything. I had my ticket and everything, but I had to cancel. Because of COVID. It was like shit. You know.
Oh, I know.
Because the last time I've been over there was I used to go a lot. I've been there 9 times total. But the last time I was there is 2015.
Okay.
And then I got divorced in 2017. 17? Yeah, I think it's 2017. 16 or 17. And then I started talking to Marine, and we've been talking for 3.5 years over that, almost 4 years. So my plan was to go see her last April.
Right.
Couldn't happen.
Yeah, we were last there in 2019.
Tim, I don't know if there's a Wells Fargo here close. I don't believe so in Medina where I'm at.
Yeah, we don't have a location close to us either.
Nah, I don't
We
think
always
so.
just did it online.
Going green, Mom. I am in Ohio. I'm here in Ohio.
Yeah, Tim makes a good point. That's one of the things I worry about. Once we get there, how long is it going to take before it's opened back up to where you can actually enjoy the Philippines?
Yeah.
Nations just go and be locked down.
Yep. That's another issue. I don't want to get locked down for 2 weeks or so over there. Because this next trip, I'm going to have to come back here because I'm not going permanently yet until the following trip. So I want to take one more trip, kind of pave the way for my final trip, and then go.
Okay.
And I'm going to retire. So I'm right there. I'm right on the edge of being able to retire and move over there for good.
Yeah, 18 months ago, that would have been easy breezy, but now.
Well, my brother's getting ready to retire there for good. I think in the next couple months. He's a year younger than me, but he owns property over there. He's gonna build a big house on the ocean and shit.
So is he married?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been married to a Filipina for maybe, gosh, I want to say close to 14, 15 years now. Anyway, they have
Is he
two.
going over on the Balikbayan or the 9A or?
My brother,
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but he's permanent retirement. So,
yeah.
yep, he'll be down on northern eastern side of Mindanao, Surigao City.
Yeah, our goal is to move there permanently. So that's just trying to get right now, figuring out how to make it happen with the COVID. So
Yep, same here. I just put everything back, put it off until this shit goes away, so we can go on with our lives again.
it's frustrating. It is.
Oh, it's very frustrating. I'm telling you, this last year just has pissed me off.
Yeah,
Because I was excited about going and meeting Marine, because before that we've been talking for 2 years.
yeah.
So it was time. It was time for me to go. And right as I was getting ready to go, the COVID hit and canceled everything. It was like, shit.
Going Green Mom is in Indiana. And she's asking, do a lot of people retire from the U.S.? Yeah, a lot of people, they're called expats. They seem to find their way to the Philippines and Europe, Australia, Germany, places.
There's roughly, I think I looked it up, there's roughly about 10,000 U.S. citizens that retire in the Philippines every year.
Additional.
It's close to 10,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is a pretty good number.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot. Coming from one country. It's supposed to be the promised land over here,
Yeah.
It ain't. Oh, God, I'm telling you. Burned out. I'm ready to retire and call it a career. Selling cars for 35 years feels like 100. Feels like a 100-year career.
Well, I told somebody being here right now feels kind of like senior-itis. If you remember that, you're ready to go, you're ready to be done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Judy,
All right, well, I'm going to get off here and pack up my stuff and start heading for home. This is my
All right, friends. If we
right,
find out
thanks,
anything,
thanks everybody for the suggestions. I sure appreciate it. Tropical Tim, I might take you up on that depending on what happens Saturday when she goes into that other one. And at least for temporary for now until I get her bank account.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, my friend, take care.
I'll see you guys later.
Right. Judy Lorelai's fine. She has a headache, real bad headache, migraine. But yep, you got her name spelt right. We did. And Tropical Tim, I appreciate you having Ken's back there. And I know that means the world to him. And we're all kind of worried about making sure that our loved ones in another country can get, the funds and things they need. Did I miss Mike? Mike's in the house. Mike Whitcomb's in the house. Well, I am 100,001 ounce. It opened. Oh, yeah. So Ken's a good guy. He just needs a little help there. But we'll all should do some research and see what's going on with that. I don't know. I'll have to dig into that and see. I got struck by Top Chat. I don't know what Top Chat is. I guess I'm not very smart. But yeah, we're going to do a 8 o'clock, what do you got? Oh, premiere. Sorry, premiere. Oh, Mike, Ken was just talking about the fact that he's having difficulties sending with MoneyGram, transferring money to the Philippines. He's been told that the new rules are that you have to be married or family to get the money from overseas. So okay. Oh, YouTube decides you only want to see half the stuff that shows up in chat instead of all of it like in live chat. Yeah, well, sometimes our friends at YouTube does very interesting things, don't they, guys? I will, Judy. I'll tell her definitely. Every great once in a while, she gets migraines. And we had our COVID shot not too long ago, so that could have been a factor in it. She kind of had a headache ever since then. Mike says, yeah, he quit that because of money problems picking it up. Yeah. So, but no, I think we've all been slacking a tiny bit lately. I feel like we've been going crazy the last week doing paperwork and getting ready for things. So, but so that's what Ken is dealing with. Late breaking news. So we'll try to figure out if it's what's going on with it and whether they've actually made some policy changes or if it's just going to be another one of those issues about garbage. That's the kind of bad thing. We just don't know what's a rule, what's a law, or what somebody had a whim this week and decided, hey, we're going to change things, even though we haven't really given any thought to it. So, yeah, she's starting to getting to feel better. So we greatly appreciate that. Just, but we might think it might be related to the COVID shot that we had. We got our next one coming up in, a couple more weeks. So I didn't really have any side effects of it. It didn't feel like, so I think I'm doing good there. So Mike says he's going back to Western Union until he figures it out. That's good. What we talked about, Mike, was making sure that our family in the Philippines opens up a bank account so that maybe we can just PayPal money or bank-to-bank wire transfer money over to the Philippines. Might be the way all of this is going for some reason or another. We don't really know why it is or what's happening with it. No. James Robinson in the house. Hi, let's see. Let's see what James has to say here. Foreign aid is infiltrating the U.S. government. They should ease a lot of the restrictions on U.S. citizens. Yep, I agree with you, buddy. Wow, it's a lot of money. Judy's having a problem through. Yeah, we had problems with that. We had problems with election unions. We did indeed. So yeah, you told her to get a PayPal debit card. I didn't know PayPal had debit cards, but that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know either. I guess they would treat it just like a bank account. So well, guys, let's switch over and watch my premiere of my video. It's going to be on in a minute or so. It's all about what I learned. Hey, Anthony B. Good to see you. Welcome. I did a video about what I've learned from talking to experts about property management here in the United States and whether or not we should rent our house, lease it, or if I want to just sell it outright. So it's probably not the most exciting video in the world, but if you're interested in learning and knowing and questions to ask, it's a great video for those really serious about whether you should rent or sell your house. Anthony B says hello to everybody. So Mike says you upgrade to a PayPal business account. Okay. Okay. That I didn't know they even had, to be honest, that they had PayPal business accounts. But that's really cool that they do. But that's why Lorelai's the smart one of the two of us. She figures all of that. That's right. Thank you, Going Green's mom, for doing that. Greatly appreciate dropping that link for me, as I am not technologically savvy. So Lorelai's as I said, the smart one. So yeah, Tim, that's what I'm going to do. But we're going to use Charles Schwab is who I'm using. So pain in the butt using the business PayPal account. Anthony says Western Union never gave him any problems. You know, we used them for years, and then we had that hack and that problem, and yeah, we quit using Western Union. So sorry, guys. Yes, ma'am, we are having a premiere right now. We are in the countdown mode of it. And just starting.
this video, guys, I want to talk a little bit about.
So if all of you guys will switch over to that, I would greatly appreciate it. Or you can hang on and I'll be back when the premiere is over.
A lot of study and a lot of work, and I interviewed some folks about whether we should rent or sell our house in the United States. This video is going to
Yes,
focus
let's see.
on
Ronald back, according to MoneyGram,
possibility of
that is not
renting
something
our
they
home while
do.
We're living in another country. Let me introduce you guys
Now,
to
Judy just got our notification.
He's the business development manager for Real Properties Management, First Choice,
Okay,
based out of Arkansas. And that's where we live, is in Arkansas. Now, I wanted to visit with him today about the possibility of turning our home into a rental
Yeah.
property
Tim, you're right.
versus selling it outright when we move to the Philippines. So he's an expert in this field, and he was gracious enough to give me a couple of hours of his time where him and I talked about the nuts and the bolts and all the things that I could come up with, questions to ask him about what does it mean to have and to own rental property, and how does it relate to the situation if you're going to be living overseas. So if you will, join me as we learn and discuss what it's like to become property managers, so to speak. So Jesse actually provided me these questions that we're going to go over, which very closely paralleled the questions I had already set up to talk to him about. And one of the big questions was, what services did his company offer? So for me, being that we're going to live overseas, I am truly looking for a full service company. Somebody will handle the marketing, the rental collection, any maintenance. They have a maintenance service company with them. Do the inspections, follow up, administer their background checks. I truly am looking for a management company that I am 100% hands off. They process everything, they handle everything, and then maybe they deposit the money into the account every month, and I don't have to worry about it. That's what I'm looking for living so far away. I also was curious about, how big of a company are they? How many units do they run? I've talked to a couple of smaller companies that have 2 or 3 pieces of property, and I've talked to some that had one had almost 1,000 pieces of property locally. So, and this one's a middle-sized one. So I was curious that I didn't want one too big because I thought my property could get lost in the shuffle. And I definitely didn't want one too small because, my logic and fear was the smaller companies, one, would not be able to handle the services. Maybe they don't have the experience to find renters, qualified renters, and all of those things. So there's some pros and cons about too big, too small that you guys have to give a little bit of thought to. So here's an interesting question that I truly hadn't really gave very much thought to. What experience does your company owner have in managing rentals? And when I got talking to them about this, what he's meaning is this property management company managing rental properties? Are they also selling properties? What are they doing? What is their primary
Take care, Tim.
focus? How long have they been doing it? Do they have a system in place? Do they have a web portal in place, a background screening process in place? So those are very important questions to ask. How to determine rent for your property? So this was a good question. For me, I asked 4 or 5 different companies, look, how much do you think we could get for our property here? And I got different answers within about $300 to $400. I had a rough estimate in my head what I thought it would go for. You want a company, some companies just kind of said, well, we think it'd be this, we think it could be that, it could be that. But a good management company is going to be able to say, let me tell you how we came to that dollar amount. How we came to that is we looked up all of the rentals around your property, your house, your neighborhood, your town, your square footage, and we came up with a calculation based on how fast the properties were being rented versus how fast or how long they were sitting on the market. That's how we do it. And I like that because I like the data-driven analysis. The other thing to keep in mind, which I liked in talking to them, is yes, you could price your house. Let's say you got a house that would rent for $1,800 a month is the recommended rent. So yeah, could you put it at $2,000 a month in hopes of getting a little bit more money? Absolutely. But if it sits on the market empty with no renters in it, you're really not making any money. You're losing money. So a good company is going to price your house competitively on the rental market. So our next question is real pretty straightforward, I think. Are you an active real estate investor? So we're asking this company, do they actively invest into real estate property, or are they truly just a property management company? Now, I thought before I got started in this process, I wanted a company that focused on property management only. But as I got to studying this and talking to people, I came to figure out and to learn that the companies that manage properties and also invested into the properties or into property had a better understanding of the market overall. Not only the for sale market, the sell market, but for us, the rental market. If they understand what's going on in the market overall, they're going to be able to better competitively price your house, which is going to maximize the dollars for me, which is what I want. So I've asked all of these companies, can I cancel my management contract? Now, I had a couple of them tell me, no, you're going to sign a year lease, a 2-year contract with us, and this is the way it is. I've had others said, oh yeah, sure, and I would have follow up with that and say, well, do you have a written policy about it? And some did and some didn't. I think a good company has a written policy about how you can break off your agreement with them. Now, to me, logic only stands that if you have a renter in your house and it's a 12-month lease and you got a property management company, it's probably wise and best to finish out that term before you switch property management companies. But I had a couple of companies say, well, no, that's not true in our case. If you truly don't like our service, you let us know in writing and we will disengage managing your property and turn it over to another company. 4 months to go on a 1-year lease, and I was dissatisfied with my company, I would finish them out and then I would find another company. All right, so let's get into management fees a little bit. Now, what I found was they vary very, very much from each different company I talked to. But here's some commonalities. One, everybody had kind of like initial one-time startup fee to work with the company. It might range from $100 to $300. There was also a couple of them had it where they also needed half of the first month's rent. So if your house is renting for $2,000, then they get the first $1,000 off of your property for that month. And therefore, after, a lot of them would collect anywhere from 10 to 25% off of the gross $2,000. So that was pretty common around there. I think 25% is high. And then of course, there's some other miscellaneous fees, such as home inspection fees. They would come in and do inspections, make sure your property's taken care of. You're going to be charged for that. If there's any maintenance that has to be done, you're going to be charged for that. The key with that is how much are they going to charge you for labor per hour? So a good company, what I kind of found was if they have dedicated maintenance personnel, they'll pass those savings on to you, the homeowner. If they got a subcontracted out, if you got a small mom and pop company, who subcontracts everything out to, Billy Bob, then it may cost you a whole lot more money. So that's really, really important to nail down those fees, those expenditures. And then, of course, your capital improvement fund. I talked to a couple of them, and they were talking about anywhere from 5 to 15% of the monthly should go into a fund that would be accessible to pay for property damages and repairs. The good news is if you don't spend it all, it comes back to you as the homeowner as profit. One of the other questions that I think is very important, if you hire a company and you agree to a flat rate, even when your house is empty, you're still paying the flat rate. If I agree to $200 a month on my $2,000 house, no matter what, well, when it's empty, they still get their money. But if it's on a percentage basis of the gross of your rent, it is most important to the property management company to make sure your house is being rented or they don't get any monthly money. So you want to go with a percentage-based system, in my opinion. All right, so we touched a little bit on miscellaneous fees. So, yeah, the question is, what are all of the fees? You need to be very clear. And yes, there's going to be lots of little miscellaneous fees. So make sure that you understand that. So let's move on to question number 2. If I want to list my property, if I want to sell it, do I have to sell it with you? What I found was some companies, property management companies, wanted an exclusive right to sell my house if I decided to sell it, which I thought was absurd. A good one is going to recognize that you have a contract with them to manage your property, not to sell your property. So if we're living overseas and our house is being rented for a year, and in a year I go, well, look, for sure we're not coming back. Why don't we go ahead and sell it? Some of these companies said, oh, you got to sell it with me. A good one is going to say, well, you find the real estate people that you're happy with. In my opinion, a good property management company is not really in the real estate selling business. They may be in the real estate investment building a business where they're buying investment property, but they're not turning them over or flipping them to sell. So that's what I was looking for. One that said, look, our focus is property management and the management of your house, not just gigantic large apartment complexes, but individual houses. So just keep that in mind a little bit. You don't want to be forced to list your house with people that you don't want to. So questions 11 and 12 here kind of go together for me. I was really curious about wanting a company that has a web portal or a website for property owners and for renters. I really want one that's going to have the renters automatically direct deposit their rent into an account. So therefore there's less hassle and less drama. It's easier for the company to get the rent money. And of course, they do background checks, credit checks, all of that stuff. But I thought it was really important to have a website where somebody can go on, you log on, you can see everything that somebody paid, when it was paid. If you're the renter, the same thing. How to collect rent from your tenants? Online. Online is the way to go. In today's world, I don't know how many people have checks, but I didn't like the concept of somebody sending me a check or mailing the checks in or do any of that. I truly wanted it to be an internet-based porthole, website, whatever you want to call it, for every bit of money management, including the expenditures that the property management company is going to have. So you're going to want one that's going to be able to detail everything. Today, they went out to my house and fixed a ceiling fan. I was charged this much, and here's the invoice for it. And it goes into this column so that I can see that every day I wanted to look at it. So for me, for collecting rent and managing things, you got to have a web-based company. So number 13, I asked this question to every one of them. Said, how do you manage my property? Do you drive by my property? What do you do so that you're keeping an eyeball on my investment, which is my house? Now, most of them said, yeah, we do inspections when somebody moves in and moves out. We photograph the house. We do any needed repairs or touch-ups before the new people come in. But there was a good number of them that didn't do any inspections in between. I did find a few of them that said, yeah, we will do inspections like every 6 months. And you're talking about for a 1-year lease, which I thought was great. They do charge you for these. It could be anywhere from $59.99 to $150 for these inspections. And of course, you also want a company that's very proactive. So let's say if they're coming in to fix that ceiling fan, when they come in, maybe they'll take a few minutes to look around to make sure there's not anything, else wrong or anything that's going on that would cause us concern. So that's kind of important. What do you feel comfortable with? How they going to check up on your investment? 14, do you offer eviction warranty? So how is this going to happen? And I ask this to every one of them. What are you going to do if you got to kick somebody out? A lot of them said we have a in-house attorney, or they sub it out, but they have a process in place that will do after 3 days, they get a late fee. After 15 days or 10 days, depending on, they get a notice of eviction, telling them they got 30 days to be out of the house, and pretty standard. But what was important to me was that I didn't have to do any of it. I don't have to go to the courthouse. I didn't have to call the sheriff to come out and evict somebody out of my house. The property management company handles that 100%. Now, you maybe get charged for that, all right, which kind of stinks, but that's the way it is. So when you look at this, ask those questions. Who's going to do the eviction? How you're going to do it? What are the rules about late payments? Do they have a policy to where they can work with somebody? And you can work with your property management company to figure out what you are comfortable with. A little bit of a tiny bit follow-up question on this was, can I put in guidelines for my property since we are a non-smoking house? Can I say that don't rent to smokers? And they all said, absolutely. Where we live at, you can clearly state you don't want smokers or you don't want pets. We have a pet-friendly house, and they all told me that I can rent my property faster and for a little bit more money because I allow small pets. Now, they will do a pet fee. One thing I liked was some of the companies said, yeah, we get a pet deposit, and then others said we get a pet deposit plus we might charge them an extra $25 in rent per month per dogs with like a 2-dog limit. I like that one. I like the thought you're going to collect a little bit more rent for me, off of the animals. Now, if they violate those are issues that can come up that can warrant a eviction process, which the property management company needs to handle, not me. So I find this a interesting question. How do you market your property? So how's that property management company going to find qualified, good renters for my property? We live in an area that's very blessed economically, meaning that there's a high demand for rental properties and home purchasing here. So, but most of them basically said, well, we'll just put it out on social media, which seems to be the thing these days. But a couple of them that really seem to have it together said, yes, we do social media, we do our webpage, but we also have relationships that we built with real estate agents and other corporations. And I'll just use an example. Walmart, maybe. Walmart brings in a lot of new employees into our part of the country here. What I liked was the couple of companies that I talked to who said, look, we have a relationship with Walmart who will recommend our company to these new hires that are moving here from Tennessee or Chicago or California, so they can help find a piece of property to rent while they take their time looking for a new house to buy. So I kind of like that. So you're going to want somebody that does social media, that also has their fingers in the corporation world, the real estate companies. Any avenues is better for you. One of the burning questions that we need to ask and be concerned about is this: how long do your properties typically sit empty? That was my concern. My concern of these companies is, I want to know, do you have any properties right now that are empty, and how long have they been sitting empty? So, and this is kind of where the marketing or the market analysis for the dollar amount of rent you're going to be charging helps. Remember, I touched on that if you're charging $2,000 a month in rent, but your property is only worth $1,800 a month in rent, when it comes vacant, it's going to sit on the market a little bit longer. I was really hoping not to hear anything more than a month at a time. And one of the good ones here, Real Property Management First Choice, actually went out and showed me data of these houses that are sitting on the market way too long, and and they're getting too high of a rent, or they're asking too high of a rent. So I think that's important, that you have a company that understands the market so that your house does not sit on the market very long. And then, of course, this also plays into your contract with them. This is why having a contract to where that you can break at any time is important. So if, let's say, I have a contract, they get a lease in here, a renter, they're gone in 6 months, they have to end the lease or break the lease, and they're gone in 6 months, and my house is sitting empty for a couple months, well, I'm going to terminate that real estate, that property management company, because they're not re-renting my property. So we want to have it to where we, the homeowner, gets the best everything. We keep renters in, we keep money coming in a month, and if it's not working, we can terminate the property management company and find another one who will be able to rent our house and keep it rented. Number 17 is a kind of a curious question for me that I asked, is how do you judge? So what are your income and screening requirements? What all of them said is, yeah, we do a background check or we do a credit check. And I think that's great. But a couple of these smaller ones kind of said it with a wink and nod. They fill out an application and we do a credit check. Here's something to keep in mind about credit checks and companies. So it's a service that these companies have to provide. So if you have a really small company who's running on a shoestring budget, are they really doing the full background check necessary versus a mid-size or a large company who's going to be able to have those funds and a system in place to do a thorough background check? That's important. We want them to evaluate their finances to make sure that this is affordable piece of property for them to rent, and that their credit score is high enough, and that they don't have any derogatory, they haven't been evicted, they haven't been through bankruptcy, whatever these things are, these criteria that you want to put on that. You work with your property management company to come up with that. But they all have kind of a boilerplate system that says, look, we expect them to have a credit score of 750 or better because your house is really nice and it's in this financial bracket. We talked a tiny bit about the maintenance and repairs. Yeah, I like the companies that had an in-house maintenance team versus subcontracting it out to like Handyman Connections or those other groups of people that are out there looking for jobs. So I wanted one that truly has in-house professionals and relationships. And here's why. For me, it's going to be very important, one, that if they send a plumber or electrician to my house to do work, I want to be done by a licensed professional. I also want them to have plenty of liability insurance for doing the work on my property. So if they mess up and burn my house down, then, that $1 million bond that they have to be licensed in our state, well, that comes into play. So I think those are things important. One thing I like is a property management company that has, back to that online system, I want my renters or my tenants
Yeah.
to be able to go online and say, look, the ceiling fan is wobbly. Report it, it gets into the system, it gets logged into the system. The property management schedules it, takes care of it, then reports back to me on the website, the portal, letting me know what happened, when it happened, and why it happened, and how much it cost. Number 19 here talks a little bit about, your updates on your property. For me, being overseas, this is something that worried me. One, I want to be hands-off. I want a property management company that's going to handle things, but that doesn't mean I don't want to know anything about my property. So when there is a hot water tank that goes out, I want to know about it. Now, I want the property management company to handle it, but I want to know about it. What I liked was the ones who said, look, you will get email notifications, everything will go into your side of the website where you log in and you can see all the data, but we'll send you updates. And anytime you want, we can Skype call and have a conversation about anything that's irritating you, bugging you, or anything that's concerning you. The other thing I liked was some of the smaller ones didn't have this feature, but some of the mid-sized and bigger ones would say, look, we're going to put a $300 expenditure flag on the account. Meaning, if we have to spend more than $300 to repair your property, you're going to be notified, and you will have to approve that investment. So if they need a $500 water heater, that's $200 over, they're going to have to ask me for permission to do that. Now, you can prearrange that and say, look, but they're going to be generous and courteous enough and respectful enough to me to ask me first. The other thing I wanted to clarify with these companies is, who is this lease with? Is it with me or is it the property management company? And I want it to be with the property management company, because that's going to give them the authority to rent, background check. If they need to evict somebody, it's going to give them the power to do all of that. It's going to give them power to manage my property. If I need them to pay the POA dues every year, well, I can have that set up as part of this. If your house is debt-free, you can even set it up to where they pay your taxes on your house and your insurance. But of course, if you're carrying a mortgage, all of that's part of your mortgage payment as it is. So that's really not a big deal. So in talking about fees a little bit for Real Property Management, this is Real Property Management, the company that sent us the questions, and it gave me 3 hours of their time about my house now. So they have a new account fee of $299, 50% of the first month. That's for your first lease, like your first 1 year lease. After that, if you do a second lease, it's only $149, no new account fee, no 50%. You just pay the $149 and you continue on in the next year. Now, they recommended a 5% capital improvement fund. Of course, remember that if that's not used, the money comes back to you, so to speak, back into your pocket as profit. And then they do biannual inspections at $129 each. So let's talk a little bit about annual expenditures and carrying costs. So one way to break this down into simple figures is what I look at as your carrying cost is your mortgage payment, your home insurance and tax, and the POA dues if you have those. So this is going to be one of your major columns, one of your major expenses, in figuring out how much profit you're going to be able to make if you turn your house into a rental property. So keep this in mind in your head about your own personal house. So let's look at our year one numbers. All right, so we're going to think about it this way. Our monthly income is going to be $2,000 a month as an example. That gives us what, 24,000 a year. So you got your first time expenses that I showed you on the slide a couple slides back. Your first year is going to be 2759. Remember, that's the half the rent, the 10%, the 5%, all of those things factored in there. So then you have your carrying cost, which is your mortgage and insurance, remember? And then, so your year one taxable total, because remember, you got to pay taxes when you do this, because it's going to be considered revenue because it's not your primary home. So you got maybe $7,041 in taxable income there. So you take away your 25% to the government, that's left you with a year one net income of about $5,280. Now plug in your own numbers into this. How much that management company is going to charge you, how much your carrying costs, which are fees that you know that you have to deal with whether you live in your house or not. You figure out what your year one taxable totals are, your taxes, your net income, and then you can divide your year one net income by 12 to get how much money you would make every month to decide if it's really worth through this, or if you would just want to sell your house outright. Because you may be better off to do that, take it all at once and do what you want with it. My opinion is this: if you can clear about $600 to $700 a month profit, clear, good, clean profit from doing a property management company, and you live in an area where your home values are going up every year by at least 3%, 4%, 5%, then maybe it's worth having your house as a rental property managed by a rental company. All right, so let's wrap up this video. The key takeaways I hope you get is, one, you got to ask a lot of questions, and you need to shop around. If you're thinking about using your house as rental property while you're living overseas, or maybe even just 2 states away, there's a lot of questions to ask. There's a lot of companies out there that do this, so definitely search around. There's a couple things I wouldn't do. I wouldn't let a friend manage your property for you, or a family member, or anything like that. I think that's probably not a good plan overall. So just keep that in mind. Now, something we didn't touch on, but I want to touch on a little bit here is I studied about using my house as like an Airbnb while I'm gone. Now, that sounds really good because you can make a whole lot more revenue. But the problem with that is you're going to have somebody manage the day-to-day house. When your guests check out, they got to clean it and get it ready and do all of that. So it may sound like you make a whole lot more money per day renting your house, but there's a lot more hassles involved, a lot more risk involved with them tearing up your house versus finding somebody who's going to stay in your house for a year and treat it like their home. When I really got looking and studying in that, I didn't see that as a good solution. I also talked to a lot of these folks about, well, should I leave my house furnished or partly furnished? And they all said no, because folks that want to come and rent a house for a year, they're going to bring their own belongings. Now, if somebody's coming into an area for a month and renting in like an executive apartment that's fully furnished, that's different. It's a temporary housing. But most people that rent long-term are going to want to bring their own belongings. That I don't think you want to keep your house furnished. And a couple of them told me absolutely not. They won't take my house if it is furnished. What I liked was a couple of the companies that seemed to really have it together was like, look, we are going to lease your house. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to sell it. We're not going to Airbnb it. That's not what we do. It's not what we're going to do. We focus on leasing your house to people for a year, and that's how we all make money. And I like that. I like that. So I think that's a good way to be. So just remember, this is all my opinion, what I think, what I've researched. I hope you've made it this far in the video. If you have, please like, subscribe, share, give us a thumbs up. And please go out there and do your own research. talk to people, and ask questions. I will tell you, I have not made up my answer yet. I have looked at all the numbers. I know exactly how much a month profit we would make, which isn't a lot. So I have not determined whether we're going to sell our house, which I am leaning towards, versus renting it. But after I went through this process and did a lot of studying, it gave me a lot of food for thought. But I am definitely still leaning towards selling our property, but I have not made up my mind yet. So guys, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to let us know. We greatly appreciate you. And thank you for making it this long.
All right, guys, we're back. We're back on the live stream. Ronald, what am I going to do with you, my friend? Here, let me drop this link again. For anybody who wants to come back up and chit chat, but Ronald, we greatly appreciate it. But my friend, that's not necessary, but it is greatly appreciated, my friend. So, well, thank you, Going Green's mom. And guys, I appreciate you guys watching my long video, my long-winded video. But, well, thank you, Mike. You know, I was telling Joe of Jenny's Journey that a lot of videos I do is all about teaching. And that's kind of how I've always done it. I've always done these things. Mr. Meat, you're going to need to show me your picture, your face, before I let you up with the title like that, my friend. So let me know who you are. Is that Ronald? But I always do a lot of homework. I look at these things as a teaching process for me. When I make videos and talk about things, I really want to learn this stuff for myself and then share it with you guys. So let's go on. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Let's get caught up in the chat. Thank you very much. Here's the link to StreamYard. Good information from Mike. Thank you. Let's see what James is talking about. So, David, I've seen one website of hiring a lawyer if you're going to sign a contract with a real estate management company. I don't think it hurts to verify with an attorney the contract. I think it's going to be really important to know and to read and understand it. If you understand it, I agree. So, yeah, Ken, you know, the honest thing is down here where we live, it's, you know, look, there's no question, guys, where we live, if I hold on to this house for 5 more years, I could probably get another $50,000 or $60,000 for it easily. But that also ties up all the money that you have invested in the property. So it really, really ties that up. So it's hard. But now, guys, if you haven't thanked Ronald for being so generous, you know, please send Ronald some love for being very, very, very generous, Ronald. When I see you, my friend, I will take good care of you, I promise. It is a seller's market. It's definitely where we live, definitely a seller's market. Mike says it's a great time to sell where he is. Ken and Mike are saying hello. Oh, okay, Anthony, here.
That's just a name I happen to have on one of the live streams from somebody else.
It's okay. I just wanted to double check. You never know.
Yeah, I would too. I would too if I were me.
Yeah, that's all right. So, Mike, how are you?
I perused over those 9A papers.
Good.
They don't, but there's questions I have about it that I'd like to talk to you about when you're not on
Sure.
this. How would I contact you?
You can go to it's called Philippine American Couple Facebook group page.
Okay. Yeah,
That,
private
and
message.
yeah, and we'll just get together through that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You have it listed under your YouTube channel there?
yeah, it's up on the banner thingy.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So, Mike said he's rented his house for 2 years before. And just don't want to think about it once I retire. I agree. I don't know. We thought about it, but I don't want the hassle. What would anybody else think?
I'll put my regular name on there. Just
You got a regular and an irregular.
yeah, we all goof around with Chris a lot,
Yeah.
so he gets in this thing of since he's the host, he can put any name he wants on there.
Mhm.
So he gives us all these goofy.
Yes, I know he does.
We have fun with it, but
Yeah. But make sure everybody says hello to everybody and everybody friends everybody. We are blessed. Lorelai and I are the Philippine American Couple channel. Are really blessed that we know so many wonderful people who are true supporters of each other. And
not ones that don't know one and then call them names for the hell of it.
that's right.
You know.
Yeah, and I've been called a lot of names in my life.
I like to have fun with the best of them, but when you don't even know somebody and you go and you do things you do, it's there's no call for that.
No.
We're all grown ups here. We'd like to think that anyway.
Well, are we? We're playing on a computer.
We're just big kids.
Yeah. I don't know if we're grown-ups or not. So
Yeah, I'd be like a Papa Smurf or something.
yeah. But I just like to do, we like to have fun, but my background is teaching. So once in a while I think I got to throw out a video that might have some intelligence to it. So
Well, there's always something you can pick up from somebody, regardless of your age or stature, whatever you got, though. Always. Never say never.
well, I always tell everybody, listen to the people that are older than you.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to even if the seniors sounded crabby, I figured they earned it, So I never disrespected seniors.
Right.
Now that I'm heading into that,
Well, I think it's just about we can learn so much from others.
oh yeah, you just gotta open your mind,
I mean, we have a lot of very, very smart people, even in the chat today, except for Ronald. Sorry. But
Except, oh man, you gotta come on now.
everybody else here, I mean, Judy's a brilliant lady. Ken's a super smart guy. Marine, everybody here is smart. So
But one thing about the rest of us that were on other places, we all like the same kind of people. So there isn't any one person that we talk to that we don't like. We get along. We get along with everybody that hangs out on each other's channels.
that's right. And and I think that's the way it should be. If you take this thing too seriously, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
I'm not an English major or teacher, as you may well know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Viking of Norway in the house.
There's another good guy there too.
Yes. So Viking of Norway, everybody say hello to them.
It is Christian with a K.
That's right. Good guy. He does a lot of streaming and some good stuff.
Mhm.
Everybody
He'll help you out. He'll help you out with any problem you got with your computer, and not act like he knows more than you know. He's calm. Well, a lot of people they forget where they came from, and they forget what they learned, and it's real easy to do something for 20 years and, well, why don't you know? I know.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, in education, that's one thing that I had to keep telling myself over and over and over again. My students don't know what I know. That's because they're my students.
They wouldn't need you.
Right. So, I had to tell myself many of times, I
Yeah.
can't expect them to know this. So,
Well, if you say Christian's name on Messenger, it comes out with a C. So,
right.
yeah, but he knows.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't mind.
No, I don't think.
He's not.
Yeah, he hasn't blown a gasket over it. So.
That's right, brothers Christian. The song "Sister Christian" is one of my favorite songs in the whole world.
Yeah, Night Ranger.
Yeah, that's one of my
That was a big song for me in my time too.
Yeah, so we're probably about the same age then.
I'm 59.
I'm 50. I don't know, 3 or 4.
Yeah. I'll be 60 this year. I ain't rushing that one.
I'm kind of like between 52 and 54.
Oh, you're getting into the age where stuff that used to bother you a little bit physically will be with you for the rest of your life.
Oh, I've been there for 10 years.
You're coming up upon another one though. But, we all go through it, so.
Yeah, my beautiful body gave out a long time ago.
Yeah. All I care about now is health, and that I can enjoy what I finally earned. And this pandemic's putting a real wrench to that, man.
Oh, it's putting a monkey wrench to everything. And anybody else wants to come up in the chat, you're welcome to. Please feel free to. It is very stressful and disappointing. We're used to being able to do what we want, when we want, how we want, and then all of a sudden that's taken away from us. So it's like our God-given rights have been stripped upon us.
It has taken me a long time to get to this point in my life to enjoy what my father had and everybody else. And now that it's my time, I got this stupid pandemic and, it's more frustrating than any marriage I ever had. Sister Christian, yeah.
Oh, man, I love that song, buddy. Used to work out to it. It was one of my favorite workout songs, but if I sing it, Lorelai will call the police and have me put in prison. So I can't do it. But man, I love it. Yeah, but we got to think positive, right, guys? Everybody.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, though.
I mean, because it can be worse, right? Anthony, because here's what you got to realize. Anthony B, here's what you got to realize, my friend. I've been talking to a gentleman who got stuck in America. He's been living in the Philippines for 12 years, common law married, has a great life. He doesn't like America anymore, or hasn't in years, because retired military, some things that went on in his life. And so he's very comfortable, very happy in the Philippines. And of course, when he came back last year, he got stuck here, and he's still stuck here. And he can't get back to his wife and his family. And we've been working every which way we can to try to
I've had
loopholes.
When the very first time I went, I loved it, And when I left, every time I leave, I feel like I'm leaving the place I come from. I feel like that is home more than where I'm at right now. I love everything, I mean, society as a whole over there is way better, than it is here. My experiences anyway, because I drove a transit system bus for 19 years. But
one of the things that I enjoyed the most is the fact that people are more polite there.
Yeah,
it's almost like the 1950s in America.
Yeah,
not that I was.
Yep. And you to start off a good conversation, you start it off with whatever time the day is. You just don't blurt right into if you have an issue with something. Over here you can, but not.
Yeah. Well, over there, I think after I'm there for a little bit, I start to become a better person. I become a nicer person.
Yeah, because there's nobody, there's not an American a-hole standing next to you. You
And in
know?
America, we have them everywhere.
Well,
So-
for me, if I'm over there, it puts us in a bad light, and I don't like that. You know, and I have no problem with telling anybody that either. You know, don't look at me and I mean, you're in the wrong place to raise your voice. If you don't have all day to do one task, then don't bother going there, because that's what's going to happen.
It is.
If you want it, you got to get rid of that I want it now kind of mentality, you know. And
Well, and you're right. And I know, you know, there's a lot of expats over there, really good expats who talk about that. They all say, look, if you're going to go to the Philippines and have an American mindset, then don't go.
uh-oh.
Go over there with an open mindedness and being willing to get yourself into the mind frame of the Philippines.
You would find yourself being the only one getting loud and rude and crude, you know, around you, because it just doesn't go like that. I mean, you know, everything has its thing, you know, but not on the scale they have it here.
You
Ron knows that too.
you let the one that expat that gets there running his trap, complaining. You're gonna get that ultimate Filipino haircut.
Yeah, yeah, a Colombian necktie kind of deal.
And you know, it just doesn't do any good.
No.
I mean, you know, if you're going to go to a foreign country, just embrace the foreign country that you're going to.
You know, when I go over there, and I got the rest of my life, if I have an appointment with the doctor, and yeah, of course that Philippine time where he doesn't show up for 3 hours, that's okay, because I've got time.
You got 3 hours to give.
You know, I mean, that's how it used to be here. People here stress too much about everything.
And what David just said was plain, basic, common human sense.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't gonna do any good, don't do it.
Yeah.
But there are those that just refuse to see the light. You know, they just do, and then they'll get the kindness for a while till there comes to a point where it'll fall upon deaf ears, and nobody's gonna want to deal with them.
Tony, I had 2 Filipino wives, and when the friends see something going down, they get on the hotline, and it's over for you.
Yeah, yeah, yepper.
You know, but I think it's just important. You know, I taught international students all my teaching career at the college, and I had them as my personal assistants. And one thing I learned was you got to embrace and care and enjoy the culture that these people come from, that they're in, to really learn to grow yourself. You know, that's what I think.
They
Filipino with an attitude. Hello, the Raleighs.
I know of one guy's channel I watched, and he's been there a long time, and he still can't get, you know, used to the fact that that's how it is. He went to the hardware store, and we call it a file, you know. Well, they call it something else, you know. And he said, "What do you mean you don't have it? I see it right there." Because if it isn't what they call it, then they may not recognize that.
That's correct. That's
Right.
correct.
What's up, Mike?
That's correct.
And you know what? He could have did himself a favor and had his phone and Googled a photo of what he wanted.
And show them, right.
You could have done all of us a favor and stayed in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, this guy is like 16 years, 17 years. This guy's been there. Been there a long time.
So he should know.
He still sounds like he's here, and that's the kind of guy I won't be around. I just won't.
We need to avoid. Everybody say hi to Filipino with an attitude.
What's up, girl?
Glad you are. Make sure you
Filipino with a good attitude.
That's right.
Have mercy.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah.
Mercy, mercy me.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
song. Yeah. Marvin Gaye, isn't it?
we're going to be
Marvin
singing.
Gaye?
Yeah, we're gonna be singing
Hmm.
But
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
we have to be able to put ourselves in check sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take a chill. But
You
I
know-
would tell my look, guys, I would tell my international students, don't give up your culture. Don't become Americanized.
Yeah.
I would tell them early on, look, don't become all excited about the American food or you're going to get fat.
I got to tell you this thing I experienced in about attitude adjustment things. I experienced in Dominican Republic, and these girls that we all got to meet this big group of people, and we're sitting there eating and drinking all day, and I'm at the front desk. I forget for what, and she was from Arizona with her friend.
Mm.
This girl that was working the front desk was not there when she got in early. So this girl wasn't there. So this girl's waiting on her, and she said, she started getting hyper. I said, take it easy, these freaking, she said, these effing Spanish people. I said, do you realize where you are? You're not in America. I said, she wasn't there when you checked in. She's trying to help you. And this girl, believe me, this girl bit her tongue so much.
Mm.
She didn't snap on her. And I thought to myself, you're in the wrong place, man, because you step off of this resort and you're done. Because this was a real tough area, man.
Yeah.
And she goes, no. I said, take it easy. She's helping you. You came in this morning. She's searching. She just came on. She don't know you. She's trying to figure it out. And I was embarrassed by that lady's behavior.
It's instant embarrassment.
Oh, sure it was. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's instant. You're like, where you from? You ain't from where I come from.
I apologized to the young lady next day for that lady. I said something in Spanish to her. She said, "Oh, you know how to speak Spanish?" I said, "No, not really, but I kind of had a little good laugh with her." And I said, "Yeah, I'm really sorry about that lady the other day. We're not all like that."
Right. She's the worst of America, not the best.
Yeah, and I think she lived near the border in Arizona, and I thought to myself, if it bothers you that much, live somewhere where you won't. Because she must be having a fit right now with the border crossings.
Well, and I totally agree. I used to tell people all the time, look, if there's something that gives you a headache, take an Advil and get rid of it. So if you don't like the environment you're in or the people you're around, then don't live. If you don't like the Spanish culture, don't live in the Spanish culture area. Go up north somewhere.
She thought for some reason that this lady, women know what women look like. They send messages all the time without saying nothing. And this girl was nothing but nice. So I don't know where she was getting what she was feeling from.
Well, she probably just thought she was better.
Yeah, she looked like, she wanted me to watch out for her friend. I said, Jesus. I said, this girl's going to go home with some guy tonight here. She's beautiful. She ain't going to listen to me,
Yeah.
No, I'm on vacation. I'm not Kevin Costner.
Yeah. I said, look, I'd really like to help you out, but I don't want the responsibility, man.
I didn't come here to do nothing for you.
No, I said, maybe we could work something out. And she goes, no.
Ew, Tony. Say it ain't so.
You never know, man.
Nah, you don't want Susie Rotten crotch up in your face.
No, I wasn't doing nothing rotten about that. But anyway.
He was taking a shot in the dark, throwing a Hail Mary.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I was
1 yard
quite,
line down to the 100. That's
I was quite the embarrassed one, standing next to her and having to listen to.
I know. I've been blessed a few times that I've been in the Philippines. I've never heard another American being an ass, but being
well, I've only seen it in videos, but I am. I will have no problem saying, hey, you really need to check yourself here because you're not doing yourself any favors. Well, if you want to continue, then good luck with that. Go to a Philippine bar and leave at 2 a.m. and see what happens to you.
Tony, enjoy your Philippine experience. Let karma do its work.
Yeah, it will too.
What I do think is funny is how, for instance, my wife and the Filipino with attitude and contest to this. Whenever they travel and are out and about, they see another Filipina. It's like they're long lost sisters from another mother, and they're best buddies. But when an American travel, when I go overseas, unless I know Ronald, if I see another American, I barely speak to them.
No, I don't either.
And I
I
keep
didn't- I didn't travel over 8,000 miles to go be with somebody that like I just left from.
right.
When you could have went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
But
So
the
colder here,
people,
buddy.
yeah, they're just so happy people that they see another one and they go, and us Americans are like, oh my God, there's
Yeah, I had my wife at the mall here when she came here, and still they seek each other out. You know, they know.
They'll go, oh, this guy's from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah.
no.
Yeah, we had a guy at a baseball game here one time, an old man, this young guy from New York. The Brewers were playing the Yankees, and you don't get that attitude in New York. And I'm thinking, this guy's like 75 years old, you know, and the guy giving him crap is like 20 something.
Pimp slap.
I sure hope you don't have it like that there, where an old man asks you to move because he can't see.
Yeah.
Tony, we part of the greatest generation. We got the best of those old guys. We the last of them.
Yeah.
And these new up and comers, they better follow us because we're the only ones gonna drag them through the rest of it.
There's an excuse and a reason for everything with a lot of people nowadays.
There is.
You know,
We start
Not our generation.
no, not us, but you try to teach it, and they feel like their response is, "Well, who are you?" And you go on that total disrespect thing right away, and that's it.
I'm
Even
the chicken McNugget that's gonna choke you. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't do anymore. We used to be able to.
I told other people, you cannot get a whole faction of people to see differently, but from the people I know on here that I've personally talked to, that's where you start. That's where you start your change, is with people that you know. And one by one, you can't change a million people's attitudes.
No, but you can model the behavior that you hope and expect out of others.
Yeah, exactly. I only converse with and talk to people that are the same. We with Ronald and other channels. And
I only talk to people that agree with me. I mean.
Yeah, we like a talk show host there. Huh?
What are you, Jenny Jones now?
We're gonna mute you if you don't get on board.
That's right.
No. And I met Tony through Chris's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and me and Tony on the phone.
Yep.
That's how connected it is.
Yeah.
Like that.
And it's too bad that we can't have. I'll have that when we're younger. But if I didn't like him, or I thought there was something wrong about him, I wouldn't talk to him.
My name is on money.
Yeah, Edith. There, you got a special side name there, Edith. And I ain't gonna say the rest, but
There
we
may
have
be something
we have
wrong
fun
with
with it.
Yeah. There may be something wrong with Ronald, but we like him anyway.
Yeah, we don't underestimate your powers of the handicap, all right?
Oh Lord, we're gonna burn.
Yeah.
We're not gonna burn because it's all fun. Truth is fun.
We'll be pointing to you.
According to me, I'm just
Look at it. He's that one over there.
trust me. Truth is fun. If you can't make fun out of truth.
Yeah. I often look forward to the days and the times that we're all on. It helps pass the time because we're all retired, really, and
it helps my PTSD.
Yeah, they're keeping us. This thing is keeping us inside. I don't know what I'd be doing if I didn't have the folks I talk to that I do right
Tony, they hating it. They are hating it.
Yeah.
When we connect, oh, how can we stop this?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can't-
yeah.
We try to keep them in the houses.
I know. I've been around long enough to know whether somebody is capable of changing themselves or not.
Yes.
And some people are just bent on being the way they are till they take their last breath, and that's a shame because you all you do is carry around hate and dislike and distrust, and you never really know what it's like to be a happy human being.
Yeah. Well, an ignorant man is the one who thinks he has nothing to learn.
Yeah,
So,
that you know what I could hear somebody talk and I would know. I don't even want to start with this because I know this. I could talk to this person for an hour and they're going to revert right back to the way they were before.
well, and there is a lot of people that just doesn't want to change or they don't care to change.
And they're ignorant. You know what? It's truly sad when somebody like a guy around our age and you go, man, why can't you be happy? Do you feel like you got to kick somebody's ass from 20 years ago to make it happen? It's it's
We
not gonna.
call that, Tony, what we call that in the military? The boy been skull fucked.
Let's go, fuck yeah.
We got a new visitor. Everybody say hi.
That's not a bad. That's a bad visual too.
Shout
Yeah.
out. What is that, Joe?
Josie,
TV? What's happening?
what's happening? We're talking about how much we love the Philippines and how much we are disgusted with our American brethren.
You said it just what I was thinking.
I always call it the holier than thou attitude.
It is, and I worked in higher ed all my life, most of my adult life, and I don't know how many people with PhDs got their heads so freaking big that they couldn't find the door or get through the door. That so yeah, the holier than thou plays a huge thing.
David,
Yes, sir.
PhD, fathead dick.
And a lot of them were. I'm serious. I mean, a lot of them are so but what a lot of people don't know about higher ed, the higher you go, the less open-minded you get. So your educational focus starts to narrow and narrow. So you got a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD, grad programs. So you get to the point where you can only think about this much. You're no longer able to see the big picture. That's
I
the
understand.
problem
I
with the
understand your point because the higher you get, the more linear you
That's
get.
it. That's it. So I encourage everybody to think outside the box.
Don't go to Jack in the Box. Think outside the box.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the two get often confused here, don't they?
Well, yeah. Well, at least they're not
What the box? What? See, it was like
What did Mike say?
the older generation is America. I don't know what the new generation is.
when I look at my son's a good kid and he's 28, and I say, you know what, you're gonna have to start paying attention to what's going around you because it's gonna change for more you than it is me. And he's like this. He's like, what?
The easiest way for them to figure it out, let them hang out with you and your old boys.
Yeah, my son would be embarrassed.
No, he wouldn't. He'd get around the old cracks and the old salt. He'll pick it up quick.
Thank God.
Tony, he will learn faster than if you told him.
I'm just glad that most of my children are like their mothers and not me.
Right.
Here's something, Ken, is I want to touch on this. Now, I grew up around old people, and I was smart enough as a young man to listen to what old people would say. And I would sit around and listen. And they were saying the same thing 50 years ago about us.
Other
We're
kids.
saying about the 20-year-olds now. So history repeats itself. I promise you. My grandfather and grandfather all talking about, oh my God, that.
Well, the
next-
reason you can't imagine that is because you can't figure out why it doesn't continue.
Right.
Uh,
Go ahead.
Because-
Finish your thought, David.
Well, just history repeats itself. My grandparents would talk about all these teeny boppers coming up.
mm,
The world's going to go, to hell in a handbasket. America is nowhere near the way it was when we were, just. And now,
you got there's so many excuses as to messing up. My great uncle, I lived with him for a while, and you do what you're told, and it wasn't outrageous what they told you, but if you don't do it, you're going to remind you that you should have.
yeah,
And it's not because he wanted to be an a-hole. It's because he wanted to teach you that this is it. This isn't. You don't get to do what you want to do under my roof.
thank you very much for the thumbs up. Thank you very much for the thumbs up.
Told Jim.
But you're absolutely right. There is a segment of society, younger society, that truly believes that they should skyrocket to the front of the line versus waiting their turn, paying their dues, and earning their keep to get to where they need to be.
Hey, I had an example of a woman, a younger woman came to work where I was, and I had been there at the time I met her. I was there 17 years, and I was on what's called call duty. When somebody doesn't come in, you go out on their work. So if they don't come in till 6 at night and you start at noon, you got 9 hours overtime right off the bat, plus the spread time and all this other stuff. And after taxes, my largest check ever was $1,600. And this woman wanted to come in, and she wanted that right away with 30 days on the job. That ain't how it goes. You wait your turn.
Mercy, it's only having fun and getting stupid when you're with your friends.
Mm.
The only time.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. As long as it's
that is-
fun, stupidism.
It's nice to be stupid sometimes. And I'm going to tell you, Mercy, you're exactly right. There's been many, many times in my life that I wish I was stupid. I wish that I didn't understand things so that I could just glance through the world and not worry about it in a daze. But it's hard to do.
What's obvious is when you try to be stupid and you're not, it shows.
Mercy, I was stupid in Singapore. Got off the ferry boat, had a couple of beers after being out on the water for like 3 months. Ran up to the first thing I saw. The thing grabbed my junk. My boy say, "Jeff, that's a dude." That was stupid.
But it's a life lesson. You learn. You didn't do it again, did you? Or did you?
Oh, but I didn't snap and kill nobody.
No.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good to not know things.
Yeah. I mean, after a couple of beers off the Liberty, and you've been out for 3 months, and then you get to Singapore and you're drinking beers, and you see the first thing that looked like a woman.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's best if you just stay up top.
What do you mean stay up top? I'm not going down.
Hey, no, you ain't going to the south with that one.
You just a clown, Tony.
I think
I
we
had
have
a friend, a Greek friend, and his mom had a real heavy accent. She's about 4'5", and he took her to Vegas, and they went to one of those shows that they have those drag queens in.
Mhm.
And my friend was telling her, "Mom, that's a guy. That's not a woman." And my friend's mom, I knew her very well. She goes up to him and she says, "I don't understand. Are you a man or a woman?" Well, he said, "I'm a man, sir. A man. What you doing wearing these clothes?" She was generally confused,
Mhm.
Dude look like a lady.
That was way before the song ever came out, too.
But the drag shows are actually kind of fun to watch. I've been to a couple, and they can be hilarious.
That was before the Lola. That was after the Lola song. Yeah. Boy, when I was a kid trying to figure out the meaning of that, I thought, man, this sounds, I think he's saying, but is that right?
Well, the first person I saw acting like a woman was Flip Wilson.
Oh, yeah, Geraldine.
Oh, yeah.
And then here come RuPaul.
Oh, no, that's the real deal there, huh?
Ooh, that's the real drag right there, boy.
Flip Wilson had the attention. It reminded me of people look forward to seeing his show like they looked forward to Ed Sullivan.
Because it was funny.
He was funny, but I think he was on. I could have swore he was on Sundays, but
Yeah, I think so.
everybody, we only had one channel. I mean, one TV, so that's what you watched, and everybody couldn't wait for it to come on.
If you ain't watching Flip Wilson, you're watching Bonanza.
Hey, do you remember that Mom's? He had a comedian on there, Mom's Mabley. He had her on the show.
Yeah, Mom's was a month.
Yeah. She spoke her mind, and yeah, she was way ahead of her time on that one.
Yeah, she was the Black Minnie Pearl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funnier than that.
Yeah. I
Minnie
never
Pearl was
found
funny.
Minnie Pearl funny. I never
She
found
real funny.
You want to see comedy that stands the test of time? Watch a Marx Brother movie.
What
That
is this?
stuff could be 60 years old. You still laugh at it the way you laughed at it the first time.
Hire people in that hire the people who've been working there. Yeah. Oh no! I know. Well, I got some other action in Thailand. I got the real deal.
Real deal.
I got the real deal in Thailand. I just went to the bar.
Yeah,
At least that's what you think it was.
really,
It went in.
if it wasn't, you wouldn't admit it.
It was the real deal. Trust me.
It went in, huh?
It went in.
Didn't come out with no shit on it, did it?
Nah, it wasn't the Three Musketeers, and we was out there sword fighting.
Just
It
asking.
wasn't none of that.
Just asking.
Oh.
This crazy friend of a friend comes over, looks at this furniture I was going to sell, and his buddy was older. He was in Vietnam. He's talking about, being in Philippines. He's with these midgets for a whole week. I don't know what the heck, but he was talking about the times his friends tried to fool him with a guy. He said he did that anyway. I'm like, wow.
Oh,
I'm like, I really. Really,
Too much
Joke.
yeah. He was man, and he was breaking it down, and and I'm like, that's okay, man. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Hold up, Tony. We got to read Ken's
That's right.
post.
He says, I walked into a bar in Thailand one time. I could swear it was all women, but oh no. All men next to the stage left.
Hey.
Stay there.
Well, all it takes is one that you think it's, but you know enough to know it's not to alert you to where like I better look around.
Right. That's why I'm on my crusade now. I can spot them. Once you see them, you can't unsee them.
You see, don't have no Blue Oyster bars,
Oh,
Well,
we open.
lady boys, they, a lot of Asian men have very soft features. It's not like American men or German. They have so.
over there they seem to be more accepting.
Stop, Tony. Let David finish.
That's all right.
I'm
just
I
saying,
had to stop him.
they have soft features, is why it's easier for them to get away with it, and it is acceptable there. But being transgender and all that in America is fine too, and very acceptable. It just they don't. It's more of a cottage industry, more of a moneymaker in Thailand and other countries. Here, it's normal life.
Yeah, you get a little snicker, but that's about it. Even if that, but you can't walk around here like you can there.
No, but
over here, you're gonna have people telling you have to like them. That you have to like everybody no matter what.
Right.
They're making a point now. Now you got other people in the mix. A couple of assaults. All of a sudden, you think the whole country's gone to pot. But
Tony, my pops was kicking it with one. We was all kids, and we looked at this dude named Terry. We knew it wasn't a girl.
Mm.
You had stubble, razor bumps when they used to use
Oh.
the depilatory shade to try to kill up.
Dude,
I'm
I
like,
had this parking job behind this bar that apparently was a he-she thing, and my booth was right in the back of this building. And this guy comes out, and you know, it's a guy's got a dress on and the hair and all that. And when it pulled up, I said, before I could stop myself, I saw his beard outline. You know, very. And I said, thank you, sir. It was, and then he left. I thought I didn't know what to say. You know.
all right, you know, we were speaking on something really relevant. So next, we
Yeah,
was talking about the youth.
the youth, the troublemaking young men and women of America.
Yeah.
Youth. Like in
The
Uncle
youth.
Vinny, the
The
youth.
youth.
The youth.
The
Yeah.
youths.
My cousin Vinny, right?
A
Yeah,
what? Like the youths.
We were
Yeah.
talking about the youth and what they missing.
I like that one guy. We're gonna start with you.
Everybody I ever hung out with was at least 8 years older than me, and they call me an old soul now.
Oh my God. God, I was driving a bus one day, and this young guy, they were married, but they were very young. I bet they were more than 18. And he's carrying a purse. So these older folks, you know, they're on there, and that one guy says, man, he's fucking, he don't even know it. I said, nah, he's done. He don't even know it, because he's starting out like this, and he's 18. He's going to be afraid every time she sneezes when they get older.
Hey, Ronald, did you post something earlier in regards to Ken's issue earlier that you
Yeah.
called? What did,
I called MoneyGram, and according to them, there is no new policy. So the scam is now, my girl Jonah was telling me, well, and somebody else brought it up. Somebody went over there, said Girlie's a scammer, and they got her on red flag.
That's what I told you about my wife and I in Western Union.
Yeah.
With her ex-boyfriend got pissed because he didn't get his land back. So they stopped. You know, I used to send her money for like the first for 6 months, and all of a sudden they refused it. And I called up and oh, do you know this person? I said, I've been sending her money for 6 months. What do you think?
I've been working with MoneyGram. I got a MoneyGram account. I'm one of those, what they call those privileged people, where you get the discount. You get, instead of $4, you get cut down to $2. I've been with them so long, they know me. I was like, look, hey, you got this policy? Oh no, we don't care who pick it up.
so Ronald, what you're saying is that it's based in the Philippines. Somehow they've kind of put a red flag on her, thinking she's a scammer.
Yeah.
Somebody went and told a lie.
You know what? You know what's bad is that, like I was saying, if you send it for 6 months, obviously you'll have something connection there. That it's been going. All of a sudden, this Joe Schmoke comes over and says, "Oh, she's a scammer," so they're going to stop it.
Yeah.
Just what's your proof? What do you base it on?
So Ken, that lends itself to wanting to rotate agencies or groups or you know, Western Union, whatever, and then setting up your bank account and PayPal. So therefore you don't have that problem. But I think that's probably what's going on over there.
I had to start sending it to her brother's name instead, because I snapped on that lady so much. Well, they wanted me to write them and all this other baloney, and I'm like,
I never had that problem, Tony. Never, ever. Out of all my long distance relationships, I sent money to all the women I was talking with.
yeah.
Hey,
But
once the
how can
first one goes
this
through,
one person say
second,
something?
third, fourth, no problem.
You know,
MoneyGram, 12 years. There you go. Same here. No problem. Online, right from the house. I ain't got to go into the grocery store. None of that garbage. Just do it from here. Boom.
I think it would be good to have two different outlets. You know, I might have.
Hold up. What happened? Hold up, Ken. What happened?
Yeah, he's same boat I was. You know, he's been sending money his woman longer than I have.
You say he got screwed yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, remember Ken was talking about that. They wouldn't let her pick up the money.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what he's talking about.
Oh, Maureen's ugly other half.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. See, somebody went over there and got jealous or something.
Now, if you want to,
Hold on. So Ken, it could very simply be somebody in one of the offices decided I don't like Maureen anymore, so I'm going to do this in the computer, and therefore it goes to all the other outlets.
or it's a friend of a friend of a friend thing.
Yeah, the Chismo or the gossip crap.
Business.
Yeah, could
Whatever.
pop up. Maybe that's what it is.
Bullshit. What it is.
But how can one person without any documented proof stop something?
In the Philippines, you don't need proof.
Now look, that is the only time in the world, and that if I'm over there and I have something like this happen, I'm going to start acting like I came.
Tony,
from
you
here.
know that. You know you don't need proof. Somebody make an allegation against you, you're toast.
Yeah,
And it could be anything.
yeah.
It could be any negative comment.
Right? And a lie to boot.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But
Almost
Jonah
always.
says no. Jonah says no, they I haven't heard anything yet. Yeah, they refused to give her the money. Yeah.
She had the required ID too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know
What
that.
Ken told us what happened was when she went to pick it up at three of the same MoneyGram or three different MoneyGram locations,
Yeah.
they told her the same thing. You got to be either a relative or a spouse to receive money.
That's
So they told her that at different locations.
if you got the ID, what do they care if you're that's your half brother? That's a lady. You know, who cares? I'm using your facility to make a transaction. I got the proof of who I am. Whoever's picking it up's got the proof of they are. So
But
what
it's
is?
the jealousy thing. It's the jealousy thing. The Philippines. Well, in America, everybody's really bad about jealousy, but it can be really strong in that country.
That's why when I tell Jonah, every time I send money, I say, Jonah, be smart, be safe, watch your back.
Don't say a word.
You when you've been sending somebody cash for 4 years, doesn't that speak louder than it does that one person that's saying you're a scammer? You know, it's not.
Not if one person is behind the keyboard.
You know, it's
Right.
not. It's not like you've done this one time and you're trying to get over. You've been doing it for quite some time.
There's
Yeah,
so much corruption there.
you-
You liable to see it in a second, right in front of you.
No.
What he says?
So they're never going to allow her to have that money. Either that, or you got to send it to some other buddy, it's her brother or something, or sister.
That might have to be the arrangement.
That's just that. You're in the money changing business, transferring business.
Yeah, but
It's not a side action.
jealousy is a powerful thing there.
Yeah. Never happened before. Yeah, I was quite shocked when I was sending my wife money. Well, she wasn't my wife then, but I'd been sending it to her for quite some time, not as long as you have. But all of a sudden they said, we can't do that.
All you need is valid ID and the reference number. And if anything else, if who sent it, and that's all you need.
Yeah. Well, you get the number, you write it after you send it, you have them erase it. So
That's all you need. The person behind the counter be like, okay, you got the right reference number. This is your ID. This your name. Okay, no problem.
that's like questioning anything you've ever done in your life. You might as well go see that person and see how they feel about it.
Let's
Hello,
say,
Adrian.
How are you, my friend?
Adrian.
Good to see you. Yeah. And you got to be careful. You got to play it down. You always want to act like you absolutely have no money. No money, no money, no money.
Right?
It would be a red flag if you sent it. Here comes somebody with a fake ID trying to pick it up. Well, then you got to pay attention.
You ain't gonna get past that.
Yeah, Mercy, she wasn't able to get the money. Ken is working on an alternative
Oh my
solution.
God. You know, that's one of the times where I wish I was in the same room as the person that's, you know, thinking differently than I am.
I know, but I had to double check with my Jonah because she need that money, and on ECQ everything is on lockdown.
Yeah.
So Manella's back under lockdown. Is that where we're at with Manila?
So their policy changed after 4 years, Ken. All of a sudden they have that rule, or they always had that rule?
No. I called today. I said,
No.
Ken, did you call? He said, no, I haven't called MoneyGram. What did I tell him, Dave? I'm calling. I called him. I talked to a dude named John. He says, hold on, let me check. No, you can send it to anybody you like.
See, that's personal. There's somebody didn't like something.
Some 30 dog.
Maybe it's a woman that a girlfriend you had before, and she found out about you having a relationship with somebody that lives where she lived.
No telling.
Yeah, no telling. That's right.
Well, you know, it's the crab mentality. Lorelai used to talk about the crab mentality in the Philippines. You know, if one's getting something more than the other, they got to pull them down.
Yeah, you get to the top, or if you want to, we're going to put it back. Mm-hmm.
I would have. Oh no. Well, I could have told you any fake name if you'd asked the person their name.
Yeah, Ken's not out his money. If she can't pick it up, so he'll get it back.
Remit or TransferWise or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, my brother Ken, that you got to go through this drama, because I know it's heart wrenching when you know they need that money and it's already out of your pocket.
Yeah.
It's floating in ether.
You know, when somebody you've been doing it for quite a while and they ask you, do you know this person? Well, Jesus, I'm not. That's come on, man. Are you kidding me?
And
What?
Ken,
Nah,
I don't think
not
you're gonna
really.
lose
I just
it.
keep doing it because I like it.
Ken, I don't think you're going to lose it. I think if it's not picked up, it just gets refunded back to your account.
Good.
I don't think you're out the money. You may be out the transfer fees, but I don't think, because we've had transfers denied or
Do
messed up, but we've never lost the money.
they have a
once it gets over to the Philippines, it gets transferred. As
do
long
they
as
have a
it's still in
facility
limbo,
that he can go to where he lives?
I don't know. But as long as the money is still in purgatory, you don't get a fee attached.
No.
It
Okay.
all comes back.
Yeah.
What is that, Mercy? You can call and transfer.
To another name. And we've
No.
had to do this.
Well, they never let me do a new name. They would say, I'll send it back, and then you can present another name.
Yeah, that's what we've done. We've had to bring it all the way back and then start over with the new name.
Right, because if you miss one letter of the name, it's going nowhere.
Yeah, that it sounds like somebody didn't like your lady there, and they put the bad word out.
Yeah.
Something's fishy.
Yeah, especially it isn't like it was the second time you tried.
You're right.
You
He's
know?
been doing it for 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Remit TransferWise gives you the highest rate. You know what I do now to avoid my wife getting charged is I'll send it in American dollars to American dollars.
Oh, I know you pissed.
When she picks it up.
I'm pissed because that's some booze.
It is. It's garbage.
See, that's the kind of stuff that makes you go postal, as they say here. I cracked that joke in front of a former coworker of mine that was out with his supervisors, suck, kissing ass, and I said, hey, you know what that means when the flags are flying half staff? And they said, no. I said, that means they're hiring.
Right, Ken, I know. Jonah's got
Them dudes,
You want to see receipts from remittance?
that was like 12 junk years ago. Man.
Receipts. So this is not a one-off. Something's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just got to change your system, Ken. And I think, but I want to encourage you, Ken, to take a deep breath, to just realize it's garbage. It's not personal. Let's, focus on how to get her the money and how to set it up in the future. So that way you don't, go to sleep tonight all pissed off, ready to,
Well, you
so
gotta
that's,
get your blood work up, blood pressure
Yeah.
up. Oh,
it's just
Oh,
dealing
Mercy
with,
got a good point. You never know.
yeah, this
You
is
never
too nasty to just let it go. I mean,
now Filipino's attitude has a great point. Being that she's in the Philippines, if MMK would call the local, the head office there, the Remitly groups, and say, "Look, why am I now banned?" That might get things changed. It may get something going.
yeah, maybe that clerk there said that money was accepted by somebody else, or you know what I mean, and kept it for herself or something.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It is.
Wow.
Because I called them.
I've been there.
Tony, I called them right after I found out that Ken had this drama. I said,
I remember.
calling them. Look here, what up with this? Oh no, Mr. Jefferson, you can send it to anybody you want.
Yeah.
Did you ask him what would be any reason for him not to allow someone to pick it up?
It wasn't necessary. If he said I can send it to anybody I want.
Wow. Yeah. I'm getting kind of perturbed, and I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, when we had our problems with Western Union, is because our account got hacked, and what made me so mad was Western Union told us basically, ain't our problem,
Ain't nothing we can do.
Yeah, not
Let
our
me
problem.
let me reach Truth to the Indian call center you're calling me from.
Hello, Mr. Kennedy. I'm sorry, but there's
Yeah.
nothing we can do.
We took it and we donated it into my brother-in-law's fund.
Man, I'm so frustrated for Ken. I'm frustrated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I would have a couple different accounts set up with different vendors for that.
Tony, even if it was just $50, they need the money. I'm open
Yeah.
air. Now,
Well, yeah.
I'm going crazy.
That's the purpose for sending it, because it's needed.
Right. Now, if it had been a couple hundred,
Yeah, it's your
I
money.
would still be the same way because they need the money.
You heard it on the phone. Oh my God, you can't get at them fast enough.
Trust me. I went through the transaction like I was making the transaction. Then they asked me, type in the amount you want to send. Type in the amount you want to send. We'll connect you to our speaker. Yeah, you damn right, because I ain't sending nothing. I just need information.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did.
Yeah, they did.
Then they wanted me to take a survey. They kept calling me twice.
Tonight?
No, they called me like 3 times to take the survey. I'm like, I'm not taking your survey.
Survey says.
What's that? They told her
Ronald Golden Green is asking if you asked about the Philippines directly.
Yes. Oh yeah, because I gotta send money too.
Yeah.
I asked specifically to the Philippines. I'm like, I'm not sending money to Cyprus. I'm sending money to the Philippines. I want to make sure it get there and she can get it. Oh, you heard me on? Yeah, I know that's right.
Well, and Kim, what it is all they had to do is kind of red flag her in one location, and then it probably send it to all the Remitly locations. So it's probably electronic flag now.
A red flag now.
Do which location? It's all over Remitly now, or whichever one it was.
It is going to Cebuana or MoneyGram office, 3 different places.
Yeah, it's probably affected all different MoneyGram locations. So that's where switching gears and doing all that, I think you'll be all right.
Send my cheddar back first.
That's right.
It's what? It is stupid if she can't get it. Somebody took the money, canceled it, or move. No, Mercy, I'm not moving on. I got Nana and Tata depending on this money. Somebody got to get it, and it ain't the person who took it. Belongs to them.
Yeah.
And you're gonna lose face with Nana and Tata. I sent the money, but and they looking at you like, oh.
Well, when we got hacked with Western Union, the weird thing was, look, Western Union caught 2 attempts at fraudulent charges, and then they let one go through for like, they caught the ones for like $100 and $50. Then the one that for $750 they let through the same people. They let it through. Then there was another one for $900, and they stopped that one. So when I asked them, I said, why in the hell would you not stop the 750 one? They're like, well, it's really not our problem. You need to call your bank. So. Yeah, Maureen got high blood pressure yesterday, high blood. They call it high blood.
You know what? I'd like to take your survey if it didn't take me 10 minutes to get to it.
No, they kept calling me back and back. I'm not begging.
Like it does when you have to want to get customer service, you have to go through all this stuff first.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
All right. I just needed the information that they gave me. No, that's not our policy. You can send it to anybody you want.
I would print that policy.
Here's a funny thing. Marina's talking about high blood. The first time Lorelai told me she had high blood, I thought she meant she was on drugs.
No, well, now you know, but that's Filipino. Yeah, I'm stressed up to here.
I'm like, if I came from Norway, it's not your bank account here in the country. You transfer it from your account. Yeah, transferring from account to account or PayPal to bank accounts, definitely the way to go.
That's what I do.
But you know how difficult it is when you don't have a trabajo to get an account. If you don't have no annual showing of how you earn, you can't get one. Oh, I have a sponsor. That ain't good enough.
Yeah. So Ken doesn't think the money's missing or stolen. It's just in limbo.
Yeah, in purgatory right now.
Yeah. That the fact that it's not getting to where it's going, that's
it's in ether.
Boy, they're gonna make me want to go postal, man. If they get that money disappeared somewhere,
right? If you got some people, local family members or something there, you tell them, go there and check out the person behind the counter.
Yeah, we're around the plexiglass, the protective.
Right.
You're gonna have that.
No, especially now. They always had plexiglass. It wasn't like before COVID. It was always glass.
You go. Who do you?
Going green, Mom. You're exactly right. It's the high blood pressure. We call it high blood pressure. You're driving my blood pressure up.
Right. I'm fed up to here.
Yeah, they just say high blood for some reason.
That's a pretty dumb question. Who do you know that person you're sending it to?
Who said that?
That got said to me once.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I don't know how to,
Yeah, every time we send money, when Western Union would do that, they would often pop up a question saying, "Do you know this person?" We would say yes. So, but that was electronic format.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like Ken said, he knows Nana and Tata. Yeah, he helped them too. So they know he good for his word. If he say I'm sending it, they know it's coming.
That's right, and they count on it.
They counting on it, and he putting it out there. And them same people right there. Those dirty rats. Whoever's in that office, something went down funky. Talking about she can't get it. You had to be a sour or a family member.
Something smells fishy.
That's my third uncle over there. Yeah, they're gonna trace the bloodline. Are you gonna get 23andMe in on this?
Yeah, right. Need a DNA swab.
Right. Not just for COVID, just to see if you got the.
No, something ain't right.
Yeah. That's why I go in there with a long swab and go, let me do your DNA now. Come on.
I thought about doing those.
I
but-
did those. The thing is, to start with, it pays to start with uh, the DNA, because if you try going the other way and finding the people first, you're going to run into a lot of roadblocks.
Right,
You know?
right. That bank account will save you, but if
But
you can't
but,
get one, you can't get one.
you know what? I got DNA of third and fourth cousins that are black, but I don't know them. I mean, I had to have been from my dad's side with the Sicilian and or Northern African roots,
And so
Spain
do
and
I.
all that. So, I have a fourth cousin that's he never answered me back. He must not like white people. So,
You don't know.
hey, you look like a bus driver too. You had a photo of him, and I recognized the roof of it, and he had the sweater on and stuff, just like we wore.
What the Christians say?
I don't know.
I'm reading it now.
Oh, and sent my ex money through PayPal on her birthday, taking it out. She had a bank account.
Yeah,
Well,
PayPal seems the way to go, guys.
yeah,
Get that
you
set-
know, if the money you're sending comes out of a bank account, it's good.
Yeah.
That's where it's coming from. And but Jesus, the rule, how hard they make it. It ain't that hard. It's just
No, but I'll find out tomorrow when I send this money in the morning to Jonah.
that lady had me.
Yeah, I saw that, Mercy. You don't have to buy a whole before I open the account. Yeah, but she's living in Alfonso Cavite.
I
They got
think
different rules down there.
I think I scared the shit out of the lady down the other end of the phone when after she asked me if I knew this person.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
you-
you're mad, yeah, that's
You
high
don't have
blood.
to get like that. Yeah.
That's not high blood. My Ate Philly tell me every day, "Ooh, she give me high blood." I said, "Calm down, there."
Thinking high bloods. How'd you get
It
drugs
is-
in your system?
It ain't the first day. It won't be the only days.
No, no, no. They get mad on the regular. When somebody piss them off,
Yeah.
especially my Ate Philly, her name Filipina. Ooh, boy, she got hands bigger than Larry Holmes.
Like
Slap
what's
the
his
crap
name?
out of you.
Burns.
Yeah, PayPal's the way to go. Gcash ain't gonna help if she's getting stopped at MoneyGram and Western Union.
PayPal is run by Western
Gcash
Union.
is Western Union.
It is.
They'll
Yeah,
stop that.
one thing I've worked around is when we go there, a way to transfer money without being charged. So, and that's to the Charles Schwab. If I would do it through other banks, they would charge me, $50 per. If I wanted to send 50,000 USD to the Philippines, they were going to charge me. But I can do it through Charles Schwab and not be charged anything.
I
have that Charles Schwab level investment account.
I sent my work
Bank of America gets through because that's the only bank of a U.S. bank in the Philippines.
The last couple of times I sent her money, I put from U.S. dollars to U.S. dollars, and then she doesn't have to pay to get the money.
Yeah.
Until she changed it.
No, I'm going to leave it. Well, it was on her recommendation that the woman. Apparently, there are other people that work there that probably pocketed that difference. The other way around.
Yeah, but that's why if you want to go out that route and you send cash, straight up cash, and she take U.S. dollars, then she got to find the best exchange somewhere.
Well, they give it. She gets it right there though.
She gets all cash. You don't get the exchange rate taken off of it.
No, get all exchange. Oh,
You get the cash first, the U.S. cash first, and then you exchange it.
Find the best one. 58 is the only one floating.
You know what?
48. I'm about 58. I wish.
$3, $5. I ain't worrying about it, as long as it gets done right and it gets where it's going. You're not going to make $1 million from it, but
Well,
You know
that's
how much is
what I
$2?
liked- I liked Western Union so much. We did it so often that we earned so many points that we would get free, no charges all the time.
I never bothered to understand that stuff. You know, they keep sending me these things saying, "Why don't you use your what do you call it?" I don't know.
Dave, I've been there. I've been with MoneyGram over 10 years, and I get that one free joint. They hit me up in my email with it, and I just shoot. But then when I get the other ones, it's like you get so
I'm
many.
thinking,
It's only $2.
if I got that coming, why don't you just apply it?
Say what, Tony?
Why don't they just apply it if you got it coming? If you earn this, why don't they apply it at the to
They
a
do.
transaction?
They do.
Well,
They
then
do.
what's I don't need to know about it.
Yeah,
automatic.
And it says, "Would you like to use your reward points or whatever they're called?"
Yeah, yeah.
And I go, okay, and then it
Okay,
doesn't
sure.
cost us anything.
Okay.
Right, because every time I send money to Jonah, I already add $5 because it's $4.99.
So they're telling me that Western Union rate would be more than a money changer.
No, Tony. The rate goes over through the money exchange. It already sucks it out when they get there.
Okay.
If you send it in pesos, she'll get what exactly was left.
I paid it in dollars. She got it exactly what it was when it
She
was
get
in
exactly
peso.
$1, and then she can take them U.S. currency and
Yeah.
go to the best place to get the exchange.
When it was in peso, she got charged for.
Oh, you got charged already.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, she don't get charged. They just give her the residue.
Minus the whatever
Yeah,
residue. Yeah, residue.
that's what it is, residue.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Shane, well, that's apparently you
He
look,
aged Eddie Murphy. Yeah, everybody always says he looked like Eddie Murphy.
Get the fuck out of here.
Matter of fact, I think Eddie Murphy's 60. I think he's a year older than me.
Eddie Murphy younger than me.
They're pretty. Well, they're pretty. He's probably my age, if not 1 or 2 years. You know.
Yes, Eddie Murphy younger than me.
Yeah, we get that. He gets that all the time wherever he is.
yeah,
Dave, can I pull out the Samuel?
Mm.
you can do anything you like, my man.
Cool.
Now who the hell am I? Don't be bringing no mother smoke.
That's actually pretty good.
Stacks.
That's
It's a
good.
damn shame.
I liked him. You know, if Samuel L. Jackson tells me get out of the way, I ain't gonna ask him why he's saying
I
it.
ain't gonna ask none of them. I'm just gonna move.
Ooh, yeah. Ole.
I'm just gonna move. A little bit, Shane. Thank you, Ken.
Well, guys, we're going to wrap this up for me at 10 o'clock, just so you know. Some of us old people need to get our beauty sleep. And I try to hit the hay by 10. Oh, I missed somebody here. So Murray, let's see. Filipino with attitude said, I tell you, it's crazy here. I got high blood all the time. Oh my God. Well, but aren't you girls used to that by now? You know, Miss Attitude. Thank you for coming. Going Green Mom. We appreciate you very, very much. Very much, really do. You can have a good night. We'll be ending here soon anyway. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We're in Central. We're in Arkansas, Arkansas Central. So it's almost 10 p.m. here. That's the new Philippine tax on money you received at Western Union. Oh, yeah. Maureen agrees with Mercy. Well, I think you girls just like to get mad. You know, it makes you feel good to get mad at us, I think. That's what I think. Because then we try to be all nice to you girls, and it makes you feel bad because we're being nice to you girls. So that's what I think. Remitly is $3.99 to send through a card. Yeah.
But that's like a 2-3 day wait.
It shouldn't be with the card. It should be instantaneous.
That's what I read up. Same with the G money G cash from the States.
Ken says, thanks for coming by or stopping by Going Green. She's checking out and going to go to bed.
Thanks for having us, Brother David. We appreciate it.
You betcha. 10 o'clock's my cutoff time. So
What time is
that's all right. You know,
8
if
o'clock.
if I was young and had a lot of energy, I would just stay on, but I'm old and, you know, sometimes you got to go to bed.
Well, you ain't that old because you ain't took a piss yet. So I just had to go. So y'all doing good.
I just went.
I got a 50-gallon bladder. My brother and I, I'm telling you, my brother and I, we can go fishing from morning to nighttime and never take a piss.
Damn, you're
10
good.
minutes after we get there.
Man, because we like to fish and we're not going to let peeing stop us from catching fish. You know.
I feel you. I feel
Just
you.
come up the side of the boat you just got done leaking on.
Yeah, like who the hell do you need to? Why do you need to pee? I'm fishing. Come on,
I'm
man.
fishing. We didn't come out here to pee. We come to fish.
So don't be disturbing me. I'm fishing. You know.
Right?
So, but
Good
that's
luck with that, Brother Ken. I'm pretty sure it'll wash out. It'll be all good.
oh, I know it's on. Yeah, Ken, you have to let us know how you do the next time we chat, how things go, and what you kind of get figured out, and what really works.
We're
It
going
may
through.
not be. It may not be healthy, but boy, fishing's very important. The love of a good woman is very important. Good day fishing is just as important. So you got to have priorities.
Well, hopefully you don't wind up like my brother Chris.
How'd he wind up?
He had a nut that sack that big.
Well, I don't think your nuts have anything to do with peeing.
Well, if he said it backed up on him, he was trauma in his testes. So
Gotcha.
Prostate.
yeah. But he's fine now. He had the surgery. That's my brother. He's good to go.
Ken, Lorelai she has a migraine headache today, so she's laying on the couch with a 5-pound ice pack on her head, type of thing. So
Salon Pass couldn't help that.
she's working on it. She has those everywhere too.
Yeah.
I mean, the Filipinos and their salon paws. I just don't know, man.
What did Jewish say? Oy vey.
Almost forgot to take my meds.
What, Mercy? I never get used to it. Another solution,
no dramas, but no drama is the way to be, my friends. So, all right, 10 o'clock here. Appreciate y'all. Ronald, thank you again. You don't ever have to do that. But
What I do?
well, you know what you did.
What? I just come on the live screen.
You know what you did. So,
You boldly went where no man has ever gone before.
yeah, like they say in Tagalog, wala yon.
I know, but we're not here for that. We're here for.
I know, but we fight for each other. So that's what I said.
That's right, and we do indeed at that. And of course, I'll make sure to buy you a cold one when we're together.
One?
Yeah. What the hell? That's a white man saying that, ain't
Come on,
it? Aye. Those are mixers, too. They ain't no beers.
I don't know about that.
Those are mixers, man.
5 drinks around here is like $100.
Yep.
So,
About $8 a whatever. And, you're gonna buy that bar a whole bottle of booze with 5 of them.
Yeah, when we're in the Philippines, well, that's much cheaper. When we were in Vegas, I had one mixed drink that cost me $20.
Where are you gonna be when you live in the Philippines, Dave?
We're going to be in Cebu.
Oh,
Wow.
civilian, not too far from.
I'm gonna be in Cavite.
Yeah. But what we're going to do is travel around, and of course, we will be more than happy to invite folks over to visit us and get
Yeah.
together and do those things.
You guys have children or no?
No, just dogs.
Them children.
Yeah, we have 2 wiener dogs. But that's it.
Wiener dog, yeah.
Yeah. They're,
Belly's hanging on the ground yet?
no, ours are skinny.
They're getting.
Ours are still young.
They got time, huh?
Yeah, they're 3.5 and 4 years old, so they're not quite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not quite that bad yet. So.
All
All
right.
right, Ken. Good night.
I'll look you up on Facebook and talk to you sometime later.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Take it easy, Tony.
All right. Thanks for having us, sir, David.
You bet.
Panel,
Good to have you guys.
Going.
Gone.
And I'm the last one left again. They did it to me again. They did it to me again.